Tonight on the Black Channel, white supremacy doesn't take a holiday, and neither do we. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel, and I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, boy, I'm telling you, if you didn't have the Black Media, what would you have? If you didn't have the Black Media, what would you have? Do you remember the bad old days? Do you remember the bad old days when no one was speaking on our behalf? No one was doing this. No one competent hosted the forum. And now we have that, because as a consequence of having that, and as a benefit of having that, we get to have conversations that ordinarily you would not be able to engage in. And tonight will be such a night. Now, what I want to do for you here, and I'm really kind of jumping the gun on this a little bit. But I was going to deal with this later this weekend, and I'll have time to go ahead and do that. I'll have time for that. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and touch on a couple of things here, because it's great to have a retrospective on this. It is great to have a retrospective. It is good to have a retrospective on this. I think it's important. Case in point, D.L. Hugley. As I've warned you all here, you got to watch out for these old niggas. And you got to watch out for the bought and paid for puppets. Old DL has done an interview with DJ Vlad. You got to come back and bow for daddy. Oh, he went there and did that, folks. And the title of this clip is about Kamala Harris lost the election because she is a black woman. That's what D.L. Hugley said. What? She lost the election because she's a black woman. Fair use, Vlad. Culture vulture. I see you circling up there in the desert air. But D.L. Hugley wanted to let us all know that that's the reason that she lost. I'm jumping the gun a little bit on this because I should be dealing with this weekend. But you know what? It's a holiday. Let's just go ahead and get after it.
I do think so. I think that because there was a few states that was kind of close. She could have flipped a few states. The most viewed interview she had was like 5 million views on Fox. So I said...
It was closer to 8 million, but...
Okay, let me back up here a little bit, because Vlad did say something here at the beginning. I think it is prescient, so let me go ahead and back up a little bit.
Right.
You said no, he's not.
Right.
Biden stepped down about
Yes,
a week
he
later.
did.
So, the election happened. Leading up to the election, I feel like Kamala's media team really dropped the ball.
Sure.
I was in contact...
No, I think Kamala's Melanin team dropped the ball.
Okay. We'll talk about
Kamala's Melanin team. Okay.
that in a second. So, I was in contact...
No, I think Kamala's Melanin team dropped the ball.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. So, I was in contact with her media team. And we were talking about doing a Vlad TV interview.
I talked to them in your behalf, too.
Exactly.
Right.
Multiple people were talking to her about doing a Vlad TV interview. They passed. I remember I did a tweet that went viral and TMZ posted it. I basically said a few things. I said, based on the views, the most viewed interview she had was like 5 million views on Fox. So I said...
It was closer to 8 million, but okay.
Oh, was it closer to 8?
8.
Okay. When I looked at it, it was 5. It probably went up over time. I said that if I...
DL's not helping his point, right? DL thinks he's defending her. He's actually hurting her right now. Vlad's about to show him why.
I remember I did a tweet that went viral and TMZ posted it. I basically said a few things. I said, based on the views, the most viewed interview she had was like 5 million views on Fox. So I said...
It was closer to 8 million, but okay.
Oh, was it closer to 8?
8.
Okay. When I looked at it, it was 5. It probably went up over time. I said that if I had a no-holds-barred Vlad TV interview with Kamala, it would have been her biggest interview of the campaign.
Probably.
I truly believe that.
Probably.
If I was able to do what I wanted to do, because ultimately her other interviews, All the Smoke, Shannon Sharp, were like 1 million views. Call Me Daddy, less than 1 million views. I mean, Andrew Schultz had a bigger Trump interview.
Sure.
By himself. But what I really said was her not doing Joe Rogan could have potentially
Do you think it
altered
was
the
that,
election.
though?
I do think so. I think that because there was a few states that was kind of close. She could have flipped a few states.
Let me just, America has never elected a female president, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay, what's your point?
America has never, there have been very few, there have only been in our history, out of the almost 2,000 senators, there's only been 60 females. There's only been 2 black ones. There's never been a black female executive of a state. There's never been a black female governor. There have only been 3 black male governors who've been
I interviewed one of them.
So basically, DL is telling us we don't have bigger issues than that. He didn't say a word about her qualifications, what makes her exceptional, because he can't. There's nothing he can say to make her exceptional. Let me say something to y'all right now. Listen to me. Let's just be honest about this. Politics is supposed to be a bureaucratic job. Truth be told, in a perfect world, politics is a bureaucratic job. In other words, it'd be like going to the DMV or the post office. As black folk, it wouldn't matter who's in office. It would free us up to do, if you actually had a just society, it wouldn't matter if all the elected officials were white, although mathematically you really have to raise an eyebrow. Now, how is that possible? But if they were all white and they were all operating justly, that would free up more time for us. We could all see about our business. We wouldn't have to worry about running in politics or anything because, okay, that's already taken care of. We could go concentrate our energies in some other area. If they were operating justly, we'd be like, okay, what the hell we got to run for office? For what? Go sit in that damn building? If they're operating justly, no, we free up our time and our resources to go do something with some consequence. We have to jump into politics because they are doing exactly the opposite. They are operating unjustly. That's why that's important. But it's not important to get a black face in a high place because having a black face in a high place automatically gives you something. Somebody needs to shake DL's head around and get that brain bumping against the sides. That's the whole problem that you have. We don't need black faces in a high place so we can say there's a black person there. You need to have someone, black or otherwise, who is operating in your interests. And DL is telling you, no, you need to make sure you have this kind of person there and that kind of person there with no priority. Listen, he's not putting a priority on whether or not they're protecting your interests. Oh, but then again, of course he's going to say that because he's protecting his interests. That's the real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's more?
I don't think that it was her exposure. Even if you look at the contours of the election, she was very popular. I'm just not going to vote for you.
Kamala Harris was popular for about 30 days. Y'all, DL Hugley, you got to understand, when you're a butt-kissing butt dancer, you sit up here and rewrite history. Kamala Harris was the most unpopular politician in America. From 2021 till 2024, she was the most unpopular politician in America. DL is acting like we all ain't been sitting here. Remember, she didn't have a pop in popularity until Joe Biden fell out the election. She was the most unpopular. It was only when the election shifted to anybody but Trump, she was handed the ball and immediately became the most popular politician until she fumbled it. DL don't want to talk about the fumbling of it. Kamala Harris was doing fine until Kamala Harris started talking. And then she reminded everybody, oh yeah, that's why we don't like you. But of course, he has to rewrite this because remember I told y'all, it's a whole bunch of niggas sold their souls. And now because things went terribly, he can't look for any special dispensation, any favors again in the future because he messed up. He wasn't able to get the job done. So they're not going to want to pay him nothing else. No more showing up at his house for special visits. He doesn't get those little special benefits for himself anymore. So hell yeah, DL is like, y'all let me down. Not that we let Kamala Harris down. We let DL down. So he can go have some more private meetings to talk about what he wants to do.
Executive of a state. There's never been a black female governor. There have only been 3 black male governors who've been.
I interviewed one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the benefit that we got from 3 black governors, by the way? What benefit did we receive? I'll wait. He can't name it. Well, they were there. Okay, and what did they do for us?
So
Westmore.
I don't think that it was her exposure. Even if you look at the contours of the election, she was very popular. I'm just not going to vote for you.
I actually disagree because people were saying that to me all the time. America's not ready for a black female president. And my response was always, America wasn't ready for a black male president either, but the right person came along. And it stopped being about race and everyone saw this was the right choice. Right?
I don't know if that's true.
You thought that America, when did Obama do his first term? 2008. 2008.
It's why I got my apartment in New York and still kept, yes, 2008.
2000.
Yeah, that's when I got my apartment in New York. That's right. There's plenty of benefits just for you. Y'all got to remember these old scum-sucking, ass-kissing niggas. I got my and he wants to make sure he continues to get his. Never mind how badly they fumbled it, mismanagement. He's been no benefit to anybody but himself. So he's up here got sour grapes because he's like, ooh, hell, I got one apartment in New York. Probably ain't going to be to keep that one, though. You see, the implicit thing that the Roland Martins and the D.L. Hugleys and the Tyler Perrys offer to the Democratic Party is that they have influence among us. But once you get out there and display, you don't actually have any influence. Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to get a phone call next election cycle. And those little special behind-the-scenes favors you depend on. And it's going to be real hard to get them to roll out that red carpet again.
2008.
Yes.
I mean, not that
Do you
long
realize
before-
do you know what was at play then? The sequential things that had to happen. The mortgage crisis was in shambles. You can Google it right now like you do everything else. John McCain said, oh, the economy's fine. It was so bad that then that's what happened. I think that America is equally as misogynistic as it is racist.
Nigga, what?
Yeah. I think America is equally misogynistic as it is racist. This is what he says because things didn't turn out the way he wanted to. Things didn't turn out the way he needed it to so that he could continue to bandy about in front of the Democrats that he could do something for him. It didn't go the way he needed it to, so I think America is equally racist and misogynist. It's not that you're the wrong guy and your political candidate was a bad candidate. It's not that. The problem is everybody else.
John McCain said, oh, the economy's fine. It was so bad that then that's what happened. I think that that America is equally as misogynistic as it is racist. And I think, matter of fact, I'm gonna start calling Trump Ike, because he beat women. That's what.
Very interesting there, DL. He had just been arguing with Vlad that telling rape jokes was not funny because of Andrew Schultz. He said telling rape jokes ain't funny. Okay, so sexual assault isn't funny, but domestic assault apparently is. Damn! So, yeah, DL Hugley said that he never heard of a rape joke that was funny. All right, well, okay. Sexual assault, not funny. Domestic assault, ha-ha, knee slapper.
As misogynistic as it is racist. And I think, matter of fact, I'm gonna start calling Trump Ike, because he beat women. That's what. I don't think he would beat a man. I just don't. But I can't prove that because you can't prove a negative. But Obama, he was running during the election against John McCain. The mortgage crisis happened during the election, and I think the country went, you know what? Let's try something new.
I would just disagree with you on this. I feel that you had an actual superstar running for president, and it was obvious, regardless of what color he was.
No.
Obama was a star. He still is.
Obama is a star.
He was one of the best public speakers since John F. Kennedy.
He is one of the best but you know what else he has the advantage of? Being a man. He was a 6'2" man with a black wife and black children. He was an orator. Yes, he was a lot of things, but one of the things he was, and I can't determine how much reach that had, but he still was a man.
So now DL is trying to tell you that Barack Obama, a black man, because the candidate that DL was stomping for and kissing ass on lost, now he's telling us that black men have male privilege.
Nigga, please.
Do you hear this clown? He's sitting up here now because he was so dense that he chose to back a woman who was so obviously flawed, but then again, he was getting favors, so he was going to stomp for it. Now he's telling you that we are the problem, that black men are getting some type of male privilege. As if black men are not at the bottom of the damn totem pole of everything. At least when a black female gets pulled over by the police, she can show some cleavage or some thigh. If a man tries it, even if he's Lil Nas X, you're still getting put in handcuffs. Damn! He's sitting here he's basically picking up where Barack Obama left off. See, this is how these privileged niggas talk about us behind closed doors. Now they have to take it out in public because they got their asses beat so badly. They're just beside themselves. They're not even smart enough anymore to sit on it. He literally is telling you and me that there's a black male privilege. Well, yeah, I mean, you may be black, but it's actually an advantage that you a man. He's telling us that as black men, it's an advantage because we're men. We got an advantage somewhere. Now, he can't show you where that advantage is. This is how low he's stooping and groveling and sniveling because the candidate who had him in her back pocket and the political party that's got him up under their butt cheeks lost. And now, see, the real problem is it wasn't that I, DL Hugley, and my Mangina BET summit couldn't make any votes. Y'all remember I did a whole program about that. I said this mess is maximum cringe. Jermaine Dupri and the rest of the doofuses there. I'm sitting there in real time telling you all this is gonna flop tremendously. Nobody's rocking with this. DL thought he was hitting out the damn park. He thought they were hitting out the damn park with a bunch of moist dudes with their arms looking like straws. They're so spindly. And because he lost big time, now he's trying to tell the Democrats it wasn't him who lost. All these black men, they is misogynist. So DL is trying to cover his ass, y'all. He's trying to cover his ass.
Children. He was an orator. Yes, he was a lot of things, but one of the things he was, and I can't determine.
Oh, yeah, he pointed out that Barack Obama had a black wife and black children.
He was an orator. Yes, he was a lot of things, but with a black wife and black children.
Okay, yeah, did you need to talk to Kamala about that too? You're going to try to hold that up as a symbol for black people. By the way, there were some differences there. Would he want to hold that up about Kamala because she never did come out, and so we can have a conversation about that? Oh, DL danced. DL screwed up and said that line he just said. He screwed up and said it. That's why he wants to hurry up and get around it, because he knows he's articulating why she lost and that there was nothing, that she was so horribly flawed, there was nothing you could do to fix it. But he needs y'all to come through because he's trying to get himself a fifth damn apartment somewhere.
He was an orator. Yes, he was a lot of things, but one of the things he was, and I can't determine how much reach that had, but he still was a man. There is something about the way this country views. Look at the demographics. Look at the way the Latin community voted. Look at the way the Asian community voted. Look at one of the things that they said, the exit interviews. They didn't know if she was strong enough. They didn't know enough about her. They didn't know.
Well, and that's because of the interviews, I feel. I feel the interviews she did were very short, because the whole point was Rogan said that she reached out, her people reached out to do an interview with him after they did Trump. He said, great, come on over. And her response was, well, we're not going to do 3 hours. We're only going to do an hour. We're not going to do it at your location in Austin like every other interview is done. We want you to come to our location, only do an hour. And he said no, as he should, because it's his format.
Sure.
He knows his audience. J.D. Vance ended up doing an interview, with Rogan as well. And, I mean, the Trump interview went ballistic.
Listen,
and it was shadow banned, and it still went ballistic.
She lost. I'm not, I think that America lost. But ultimately, it is this. Billionaires aligned with another white man.
What? So he couldn't refute what was just said. The woman's interviews were awful. We don't know enough about her. They said we don't know anything. Yeah, because every time she had a chance to introduce herself to the people and display herself to the people, she hid. She thought that celebrities like DL were going to win the election for her. That she could dodge the questions, dodge the issues, dodge Black America, and that Beyonce and DL Hugley were going to run the race for her and win the election for her. That's what she was. Now DL can't defend it anymore. He can't defend it. He can't come up with even a slightly plausible defense for it. Not even a marginally rational defense for it. So now he just had to break down, well, look, you see, she lost. And the reason why she lost, well, is billionaires. The woman got over $1 billion, y'all. Damn! Which we've confirmed she wasted at least a couple of $100 million of that. There were billionaires. Yeah, she was one of them. There were billionaires out there. Yeah, and she was one of them. Man, if you get given $1 billion damn dollars and that doesn't allow you to do everything in the damn presidential election you need to do, then you need to be running for damn ice cream salesman, dog catcher, dog chaser, dog groomer. So DL just looks silly now. He just looks silly, but it's like, dude, you got to come on out here and take your damn lumps. He's talking silly, he's talking crazy. He needs to quit, but he doesn't have enough good sense to do that, so there you go.
They did. All the billionaires. You couldn't get a union to endorse her. You couldn't get a newspaper to endorse her, who were owned by who? Billionaires, white billionaires. So their interests were at play. They won. And the thing I can say is this: I'm proud because I believe that Black women, in my estimation, have always been the moral compass of this nation. I believe they made the right decision, and it is the first time that the right decision worked out wrong. But I also believe this: it is the most liberating thing that's ever happened. That's happened to me in the last 10 years.
Oh, her actually running?
No, America's showing me exactly who it was.
Well, you spoke at the deal.
So there he goes with more ass kissing on Black women there, as if he truly believes that. So this is what happens when you got your ass broken and you refuse to be a truthful, honest individual about what's actually occurred because you're trying to preserve your individual benefits for yourself. You sacrifice what little spider web of integrity you used to have left available. Now you just walk out here and make yourself look like a professional ass everywhere you're going. You're going out bad, deal. You're going out terrible, dude. This is beyond cringe. This is just embarrassing now.
Let's see.
I did.
And
we were, before I did an interview, I thought I might. Right.
Yeah. I remember we didn't talk about it because you weren't 100% sure, but you told me about it.
Right.
And then like a week later, you're on. And I was like, oh, someone I know is actually on stage right now. Who I actually know is on stage at, the biggest stage for the Democrats right now. But ultimately, she didn't win.
She didn't.
Trump won, and this was essentially the biggest blowout in presidential history.
That's not true at all.
No, hold on. This is the biggest blowout since...
Oh, DL jumped in quick. That's not true at all. Nigga, DL, you got blew the hell out. You got to hold that L along with Samuel L. Jackson, Tyler Perry, Beyonce, and Kelly Rowland. I'll be damned. Destiny's Child got nuked.
And deal with it, nigga.
All of y'all who jumped your happy asses up there. All of y'all got to hold. We need about 10 or 12 of you. That L is so damn big, you should have brought in a crane for it, but all of y'all got to get up under it and hold this L. That's what you got to. This is like watching a mobile home coming down the street. All of y'all got to get up under it and pick that L up.
Obama blew out McCain.
Okay.
That was a bigger blowout.
That's like I'm the skinniest guy at fat camp. He won. He won. Wrong.
People, Donald Trump did not win this election. I told you this over the summer that when Kamala Harris sprinted into the lead with all the negatives Trump had, he chose JD alt-right Vance. I said it then. This election is Kamala Harris's to lose. JD Vance is a bum, a white supremacist, and a loser. I said it as soon as Trump chose him. I said, I'll be damned. It just went from being his election to lose to he's lost it all. I said it then. Donald Trump did not win this election. He didn't become more popular than he was in 2020 or 2016. Kamala Harris lost the election. Donald Trump didn't win it. Kamala Harris lost it. She lost it. Her constituency was people who can't even vote, which tells you that the Democrats are setting this up for a long-term strategy. She was a candidate to be scuttled so they can bring in more illegal aliens because they're concerned about the second generation, not the first. The first generation will get deported. It's the second generation of the children who are born on American soil. Those are the ones that their strategy is like, okay, well, they'll get to stay no matter what. Donald Trump did not win the election. I have said that since day one. I continue to remind you, for all the brain-dead, unsophisticated individuals who don't understand how it works, he did not win this election. Kamala Harris lost the election. It was hers. It was in the bag. America did not want to vote for Donald Trump again. What she showed them was, oh, if you thought Biden was bad, it can get a hell of a lot worse. All she did was demonstrate that she was more incompetent than anybody ever thought and more of a ridiculous boob than anyone had ever given her credit for being. And DL, rather than doing the intelligent act of self-preservation and distancing himself from that damn sideshow as much as he can, is sitting up here trying to hold strong. Yeah, because there ain't no Republican going to pay you for a damn thing. So he's holding out for that phone call in 2026 or 2028. And don't wait on it too vigilantly, DL, because you fumbled the damn ball so bad in 2024. You've already shown them that there's nothing to gain for being with you.
And he's been winning by larger margins, according to him, than he has. There's never been. I do find it interesting that we were worried about the integrity of the election, and now we're not because you got the results.
Right, because he won. Right.
We were worried
Obama did win by a larger margin.
Of course, it's not even historically close. How close? It's not even. More people voted for him. It's about the same number of people voted for him last time as voted for him this time.
So less people voted for Kamala, is what you're saying.
Less people
Less
voted for the
Democrats
Democratic
voted,
position. Yes.
Oh,
And
look.
so to me, I can't tell you why that is, but I can say this, that it is to our great lament that this nation will have an opportunity to get what it wants, and I'm proud of it. I hope that it gets what it wants, and I'll sit here and I'll never be happy. I'm not.
Now, listen to this next part right here. If you all want to know what's wrong with the elitist, hoi polloi, high society, out of touch, upper crust privileged Negroes, listen to what he says next. He thinks this is a virtue, what he's about to say next. Listen to this.
Is to our great lament that this nation will have an opportunity to get what it wants, and I'm proud of it. I hope that it gets what it wants, and I'll sit here and I'll never be happy. I'm not one of the type of dudes who wants to say I told you so, but I've never felt more freedom.
Look, I voted for Kamala. I publicly announced it on Twitter. I have pictures of it.
Right.
I took my family with me so they could, actually see the voting process.
Now, DL's going to say what I'm telling you all about here just a minute. When Vlad gets done talking, DL's going to tell you what I was telling you about.
And so forth. So I'm not going, yay, Trump won.
Right.
I voted for Kamala. I wanted Kamala to win. Now, my stock portfolio is happy that Trump won.
Mine too.
My Tesla stock is very happy that Trump.
Damn, DL. Damn. Y'all heard that? And Vlad said, my stock portfolio is happy. DL, mine too. Well, I'll be damned. Hey, DL, if Kamala Harris was such a damn great candidate, shouldn't your stock portfolio be hurting? If she was the better candidate. This is just basic mathematics. If she's a better candidate, shouldn't your stock portfolio be doing worse now? Now he's like, it's doing better. Well, damn, DL, you just became an advocate for Trump, didn't you? Otherwise, what the hell are you voting for? You just said, well, your person, my pocket's getting fatter. Okay, then why are you supporting Kamala Harris and not Trump then? This is great for your stocks and you don't like that, DL? Why? Okay. When you start talking silly too long, it catches up with you.
But I've never felt more freedom.
Look, I voted for Kamala. I publicly announced it on Twitter. I have pictures of it.
Right.
I took my family with me so they could, actually see the voting process and so forth. So I'm not going, yay, Trump won.
Right.
I voted for Kamala. I wanted Kamala to win. Now, my stock portfolio is happy that Trump won.
Mine too.
My Tesla stock is very happy that Trump won. But I still voted for Kamala because I felt that was the right thing to do.
I'm a 60-year-old wealthy black man. Rich, not wealthy, but rich black man. Nothing I voted for had anything to do with me.
Right.
I'm not going to get deported. I'm not going to have an abortion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have my right. So I think that a society is great when people care about things that don't matter to them.
Did you all hear that? Let me back that up and let you hear that one more time.
Trump won, but I still voted for Kamala because I felt that was the right thing to do.
I'm a 60-year-old wealthy black man. Rich, not wealthy, but rich black man. Nothing I voted for had anything to do with me.
Right.
I'm not going to get deported. I'm not going to have an abortion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have my right. So I think that a society is great when people care about things that don't matter to them. America made a different estimation, and I have to accept that that's what has happened. But to me, I'm not going to agonize and I don't want for this nation what it doesn't want for itself.
Almost 2 decades ago, I became a lightning rod for controversy and ridicule and criticism when I stated boldly and unapologetically and unhesitatingly to everyone out there, especially the young folk who at the time under the age of 40, when I warned them, you got to watch out for these old niggas.
And deal with it, nigga.
As you see, he sits up there and vaingloriously brags. I'm a 60-year-old rich black man. See, these are the conversations that they have around the table when they're exchanging sex toys and lingerie.
What?
Him and Tyler Perry and some of the other folks in Hollywood, when they get together at their little private parties and they're exchanging gifts to each other. These are the conversations that go on over there. We some old rich niggas, see, they tell themselves they're better than the rest of us because he made it to 60 damn years old. So the fact that he said that age component, that tells you everything. I want you to pay attention to that age component that he insisted on inserting there, as if being 60 years old, okay, what you trying to say because of your age? And what he's trying to say is, I'm different from you young niggas. I'm different from y'all. I'm better than y'all. I see the world in a much more enlightened, elevated way. So I want y'all to understand something. I've told you forever, and he has just given me the undeniable proof, and now you all have heard it for yourselves. These folks want to sit up here and get some money so that they can become the sexual perverts and intellectual sexual adventurous that they always wanted to be. So they start talking like a bunch of old-ass hippies. Pass the weed, pass the drink. We don't care how this Latina chick got here, legally or otherwise. It only matters that she's here. So he can have ease of access to his apartment in New York. All you have to do now is go down to the Roosevelt building and pick one up. You ain't even got to go down to Guatemala anymore. All DL got to do is go to New York and he can have a damn Uber pick them up and bring them to the building. So he's letting you know the things he cares about. And you heard him mention what they were. They were all sexual.
Trump won.
Black man, rich, not wealthy, but rich black man. Nothing I voted for had anything to do with me.
Right.
Lie.
I'm not going to get deported.
Okay, the chicks you bring to the hotel, they have to worry about that. So the money you making, you trying to splurge some of that there. So got to get them to come through.
I'm not going to have an abortion.
Dude, you 60 years old. He wants to make sure that abortions stay out there. Don't you in Hollywood, bruh. Don't have Attorney Busby go and get some chick to drop the documents. Don't do that, DL. Stop scaring this up, man. Leave this alone. Leave this alone. You don't want whoever them chicks are Tony Busby is talking to, you don't want one of them to jump up and add your name to the Diddy files. Stop it, DL. Stop it. You stomping too hard for abortion. If abortion has nothing to do with you, what the hell are you defending it for? Oh yeah, and one more thing about white collar jobs and all that stuff that the white supremacists over there keep talking about. That has nothing to do with you either. Why are you not voting for that also? If you're here to advocate for things that have nothing to do with you, by the way, Donald Trump advocates for a bunch of stuff ain't got nothing to do with you. Shouldn't you be advocating for that too? Obviously, there's something about abortion that you like, and there's something about illegals that you like. So if you like it, then it does benefit you. Since you're obviously not endorsing everything, you're only endorsing this, oh, it does have something to do with you. Y'all got to understand, it don't matter how old they get. Diddy was the one got caught for the freak off. The rest of these fellas is running around out here, hoping that one of them wenches at the damn orgy don't drop the dime. That's what they're doing. They all sitting around hoping that none of them little scummy thoughts sits up here and drop the dime on them. Next thing you know, it's all going up. You got a police chief up there in New York. I mean, he didn't even have the money to pay this broad. He just had to give her extra overtime. That's a hell of a thing, isn't it, right there? Look here, baby. We can keep doing this thing right here, but you're going to have to work for this. What? So y'all just understand, there's a bunch of them out there and whatnot, living these voluptuary lifestyles, living these orgy lifestyles, living on Viagra. They all got their own mini Diddy parties. So they want as many illegal alien females. And just in case one of them get pregnant, need to make sure we can go run her down the street to get this abortion right quick. Because that's what old niggas do. DL Hugley hasn't benefited no young cats coming up. Ain't no young cats out there talking about what DL has done to help them. I guarantee you, if they can get around them attorneys, there'll be some chick out there who'll let them know what DL done did. There ain't no young cats out there talking about what DL Hugley has done to benefit them, how they came up because of DL. DL made sure he was straight and damn the rest of you niggas. And that's why Vlad talks to him. Vlad doesn't talk to black people who benefit other black people. Vlad don't talk to them. He don't talk to them. So DL is out here snitching on himself because the election didn't go the way he needed it to so that he could keep his end. If I'm telling the truth, I need y'all to give me the bullhorn emoji here tonight and hit the likes button for me. It's over 4,700 people in here live tonight. I know it's a holiday night. We got thousands of people listening live right now tonight. Thousands of people. So if I'm telling the truth, give me the bullhorn emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. You know, fakers and frauds and phonies like DL Hugley used to be able to get away with this kind of scummy stuff. They used to be able to do this kind of garbage and get away with it. The corporate media could run interference. The broadcast media could run interference. Y'all remember Steve Harvey's old useless ass sat up here and had to admit these niggas hate taking phone calls now. They hate taking phone calls because the streets listen to us. And they messed around. Steve Harvey told you all that Kamala Harris was done and didn't even realize it. When he said he tired of folk calling up to his show and talking about reparations. Do y'all remember that? Steve Harvey said he tired of folk calling up to his show asking about reparations. So in other words, all that bull crap that Kamala Harris was talking about, ain't nobody calling you up talking about that. They're calling you up talking about what we're saying over here while you going back and pretending that nobody talked about it. You ignored it, now be damned. Kamala Harris lost the election. She lost it. Folk are not liking the program here tonight. I must be offending DL Hugley's family members and audience, so might go ahead and wrap things up a little bit early here, but I'm going to go ahead and pin the Zoom to the top of the chat here. Oh, MJ can go ahead and give us a holler here. I'm doing a nice program here because I want to remind you all about what the old niggas done did. It can become very easy and very simple to forget that or disregard that. I have warned you all for so long because you got to understand DL Hugley ain't got no damn heart. Never has. DL has always been for DL. That's it. Those are the folk that they bring up there on them stages. The niggas that only look out for themselves. DL Hugley ain't never put nobody else on. He's tried to trip up a bunch of people. What? Oh, DL has tried to trip up a bunch of people. But DL ain't put nobody on. Tyler Perry has tried to trip up a bunch of people. But Tyler Perry ain't put nobody on. Steve Harvey has tried to trip up a bunch of people. Steve Harvey ain't putting nobody else on. So what I'm saying is that the DL Hugleys and the Steve Harveys and the Tyler Perrys adhere to the one nigga at a time rule. They make sure they're not going to do nothing for nobody but themselves. So when you sit down at the table with DL, you know you're not negotiating with anyone except him. He's only interested in what you're going to do just for him. So when DL's sitting down talking to you, you know from the rip, this conversation is not about how this will benefit black people as a group. It's only about how it's going to benefit DL. That's all he wants to talk about, is how it's going to benefit him. That's it. So you don't have to worry about him flipping the script and going wild card and going off the script. DL is there for him. As long as he gets what he wants, he'll back any damn thing you got to say. Anything you got to say. So this is why these folks ain't worried about him. And the only problem he has now is that implicit in his being there was that he could deliver the black vote. This is a badass look for DL because he failed to deliver the black vote. So the next time he comes around and tries to make any sort of characterizations about what he can do for them, they first and foremost going to acknowledge, well, you know, last time you made all that big talk, you didn't do nothing. Why should we advertise on your radio show? You can't deliver anything. Hell, we gave you a whole BET summit. We went down in flames. We were in better shape before we had you speak on our behalf. I warned you all, there's a whole bunch of niggas in Hollywood and entertainment and TV and radio and movies who are scared to death right now. They put all their chips up there. And if Kamala loses, all of them are sitting with their heads in the noose. DL don't want to sit up here and talk about that. Tell me what's his next comedy special going to sound like. And before now, nobody of any consequence or with any appreciable audience size even asked the questions I'm asking right now. Hey, by the way, DL, you sure are talking about a whole bunch of stuff for yourself personally. One more thing. The reason why I wanted to play that last part, he said,
that this nation will have an opportunity.
So I was happy that Trump. My Tesla stock is very happy.
Man, nothing I voted for had anything to do with me.
Right.
I'm not going to get deported. I'm not going to have an abortion.
Do y'all hear how dumbass this nigga sounds? None of the things I voted for benefit me. Okay, let's put the fact that he's lying to the side. Let's just say that that's a factual statement. People, what the hell are black folk gonna show up at the damn polls for to vote for something that don't benefit us? What? Do you hear how crazy this nigga sounds? Y'all wrong because you only voting for stuff that benefits you. This dumbass, bug-eyed, blind nigga is sitting up here saying this garbage. Literally talking about we're all wrong because you only wanna vote for stuff that benefits you. What the hell else we supposed to vote for? He's literally telling you and me that he's bragging. You know, I'm on the right side of things because I voted for things that don't benefit me. I ain't gonna get deported. I ain't gonna get an abortion. We got a whole bunch of stuff that we need that benefits us. And he's telling us directly that we're wrong as Team Melanin. We're wrong for not actually pushing for things that benefit us. That we ain't supposed to do that. Now this nigga just sat up here telling DJ Vlad about how they were having meetings with Kamala Harris. Oh, that was giving you plenty of damn benefit. But then he comes and tells you and me that we need to find something. We shouldn't be voting for stuff that benefits us directly. Literally saying this. bragging that he's more enlightened and more intelligent than the rest of us because he's smart enough and wise enough and enlightened enough to vote for things that don't benefit him, as if we don't have a damn laundry list of stuff that benefits us that we actually need. What he's saying, people, is that I'm a 60-year-old rich black man. I don't need anything. What? So you see, I'm smart enough that since I don't need nothing, I vote for stuff that I don't need so I can help other people's, cause I ain't got no worries and no problems.
Nigga, please.
Well, that's why he wanted to point out to you, well, I'm old and I got some money. So you see, I'm voting for stuff that don't really benefit me because I'm old and got some money. So I'm good. That's what he meant when he brought up that 60 years old. Nigga, I ain't young and sporty. I ain't out here in these streets. I'm so old, my life is behind me now. So I'm voting for stuff for folk I don't even know. That's what I do now. From my second or third apartment in New York. Well, we did something for ourselves there, DL. We did something for ourselves. And you mad as hell because your Tesla stock might be up, but your personal social stock went down the damn toilet. The next time your ass show up talking about getting a vote for somebody, that's gonna be the damn punchline. The next time the DL Hugley comes out trying to act as if he's going to advocate or hold a town hall or hold a political conversation, that's going to get niggas laughing when he tries that one. And he knows it. Everybody wait for him to come back and try to hold another political rally so they can remind him, by the way, remember how that last one went? Ain't that right, DL? That's going to be the damn punchline, nigga. By the way, Steve Harvey. Can't wait for him to bring his ass out there. Bring his damn Frederick the Turtle ass out there. That's the problem with y'all right there. Can't wait for him to act like he's got no clout. Can't wait for him to pretend he got any clout. Oh, that's not going to be funny. That's going to be hilarious. All these niggas who cashed in all their capital this election cycle to sell out everybody else for their own personal gain, if they ever try to show up for another election cycle, talking about hosting a political anything, this nigga couldn't host a political popsicle stand. Wish he would come out again. No, DL, it's not just that Kamala lost, you lost. All the other Hollywood hoes, hobos, and ass kissers lost. All of y'all lost because you couldn't deliver the black vote. Because unlike you, we're voting for something. However, you might disagree. Therefore, the Zoom link is available in the chat room there. You are certainly welcome to go ahead and give us a call. Before you do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who's contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo, Tuskegee. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Mr. Wilburn, Najee, everybody else here, Wesley, thank you very much for your support as well. Let me go ahead and jump over here on the Zoom. Let's go ahead and jump over here on Zoom, see if I can get Michael up here on Zoom. All right, Michael, what's on your mind, brother?
Good afternoon, Jason. I know for a fact you are not a fake, a fraud, or a phony. And I believe the brothers and sisters, if they followed your advice on many public and private matters, they would be better off. No question about it. But there's one thing that you do, and you haven't done it tonight, that really, irks me a bit. You'll pronounce a word and then sarcastically say, look it up. Brother, your audience, your black audience, we know our ABCs, so that's the one thing that you do that really irks me. But other than that, I don't have no problem with you.
Well, if I thought that everybody knew it, that'd be a different matter. And especially is taken by the fact that frequently enough, I give folk who don't comprehend words a whole lot simpler than the ones I say to look up. So I think you're giving too many people too much credit. And so Michael might not have that issue, but I think you're giving too many people too much credit.
Okay, Jason, Black first, and keep doing what you're doing, and I'm going to be listening.
Thank you very much for giving this call tonight. Yes, some of the stuff I hear people call up and say, I'm like, you might not need a thesaurus, but sometimes I think I need sock puppets and Muppets up in this son of a gun sometimes. Sometimes I think I need reading Rainbow. Sometimes I think I need to get my man Lamar up in here so he can do the reading Rainbow thing. Tell him, can you go ahead and do that for me right quick? Let me go ahead and see if I can get Huey up in that. Not Lamar, LeVar Burton. Not Lamar. What am I talking about? Lamar. LeVar Burton. All right, Huey, we got you here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Huey?
Not much, brother. Thanks for the broadcast. What I want to add is that you notice how they didn't ask DL how he interacted with people when they asked him about questions about the community. And you also notice that all those people that they called dumb, stupid, like them and Roland Martin, that was a big turnoff. So people that were potentially want to vote for Kamala, they're like, nah, we're good. We're going to sit it out.
Yeah, I mean, look, those are the kind of things that you're not going to hear asked of them because the people interviewing them agree. What? DJ Vlad agrees with that. We already know that. We already know his suspected white supremacist ass. We already know him. So the Katie Courics and what, the NBC, ABC, they're not going to ask that as far as they're concerned. That's the way you talk to black folk. So the people who would be in the position to put them on the spot and ask it, they're not going to ask that because those are their foot soldiers. So you're right. Yeah. And it's an obvious question that needs to be asked that, hey, DL, was your condescending attitude toward black men a factor in losing Kamala Harris that election? You didn't talk that way to anybody else. Do you think that your condescending, out of touch tone of voice and attitude toward black men, do you think that cost her some votes? That's a very obvious question to ask, especially if you're going to do a post-mortem. And that's also the reason they won't ask it, because the people who would have to ask it agree. They don't see nothing wrong with talking to us like that.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, DL, here's the thing, though. That shows me that these celebrities, they want us to like vote for our own demise, and they want us to vote for the lesser of two evils. But at the same time, it's like no matter what happens, they're always going to be good. They got their money. They got everything that they need. And then we're the ones that's going to be stuck with freaking race soldiers and white supremacy at the end while they get whatever they want in their Diddy parties and their baby oil and all that other stuff.
Brother, I mean, I want y'all to understand that's not a minor thing. That is a huge, gigantic thing. The reason why I went in about the old niggas going on 2 decades ago is because of what I told y'all. They're not out here fighting the police. They're not out here getting pulled over. They're not out here getting hemmed up at the mall. They're not out here getting discriminated against at the job. DL Hugley wants sexual access, interracial sexual access, and the ability to act like a damn big shot when he goes to the turkey leg hut. But he's not out here trying to defeat white supremacy. He ain't even trying to do that. He's trying to defeat the interest rate of the Bentley dealership. In other words, hey, young niggas, I got mine. Who cares if you never get yours? So while he wants to support stuff that don't directly benefit him, hey, old nigga, you should be supporting something that directly benefits these younger folk. That's a hell of a thing. And take a look at the platform and the access and the promotion and the high profile that he's been given by the corporate system. This is why, because when these white men who run these companies talk to him behind closed doors, this is what he tells them. Now, if this is what he was willing to say to us in front of DJ Vlad, what's he telling these white men when he gets along with them? No Diddy.
All right, brother. Thank you very much for the answer to my questions. I'm going to let you get to the rest of the callers. Be one.
Big One Brother, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, y'all, I want y'all to understand this is not outside the norm. The Oprah Winfreys, all the folk they paid off, they good. All of them that they paid off, all of them folk that Kamala Harris was glad handing, they're good. Their money is straight. So long as an indictment doesn't show up on their front door, they good. And they give no damns whatsoever what you and I never get. While he's advocating for us to vote for things that don't benefit us. So if we vote for things that benefit us, we wrong. And if we tell him, yeah, but there are things we need that we don't have, DL is going to tell you, well, you should have worked harder like me. You the reason you ain't got it. Well, I'll be damned, you sound like Donald Trump all of a sudden. Notice these old niggas who talk that talk about things that don't benefit them directly. They never say nothing about reparations. They never say anything about hate crime bill. They never say anything about none of that. They talking like a bunch of white suburban liberal women. Your so-called black comedians, who are the real joke, by the way, they sitting up here sound like a bunch of white suburban females. I guess now we know who got their hands up your backside and is working your mouth like a Muppet. And DL is big mad at all of us for not sitting up here making sure that he keeps his little image intact. This was such a historic major L. Kamala did not lose. He did. Okay, over on Zoom, Rex, you're going to need to turn your camera and your microphone on for me just so we don't have any trolling issues. Don't worry, nobody else will see you except me. I'm the only one who'll see you, but just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues, you need to go ahead and do that. I'll give you 5 seconds, and then we're going to have to move on. But Rex will give you 5 seconds for that, just so we don't have any trolling issues. Nobody else will see you except me, but just to make sure that there's no nonsense going on, that's going to be a bit of a requirement. Okay, Rex has decided not to join us for the rest of his life. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Sharice up here on Zoom. There you go, Sharice. All right, ma'am. What's on your mind? There she is. Chocolate and them veneers. I'm loving them things. But I'm sorry. I shouldn't bring that up. Baby, tell me you and old boy. It's Christmas. It's Christmas now, baby. It's cold outside. The election is over. You gonna let him back in from the rain, baby?
I let him back in. Okay.
There you go. All right, y'all. What she say is, if you think you're lonely now, she was about to stand strong after that election. She said, I'll be damned. That temperature dropped. This electric blanket ain't gonna get it. She said that temperature done dipped and this electric blanket ain't gonna get it. Let me let him back up in here till February. Let me at least let him do that.
I really, you always throw me off of my point. Jason, can I tell my point? Can I stay focused?
Okay, go ahead and try.
Okay. Here is my biggest disagreement with D.L. Hughley, Tyler Perry's, and their ilk, if you will. What really chaps my behind about these brothers is, to me, that they have no real love for the foundational Black American woman, because Kamala Harris is not Black, not by lineage, not by action, not by anything that we can look at on a true level, and nor does she represent Black women in a way that would give us any type of reason to let her into the damn barbecue. And I don't even care for Candace, but I will tell you that I believe the ancestors used Candace to do so much research on this cosplaying Indian and her lineage, which proved that there's not a drip that we could find of Black blood to be found in this woman, who, for all we can really see, has substance abuse issues, and that's alleged. But the reality is, I don't have a self-esteem problem as a foundational Black American woman. I have come from a lot of hell, but I feel like I've been made pure gold, a diamond, whatever the hell you want to call it. But the reality is, I don't need some light-skinned cosplaying Indian woman who washes her greens in a bathtub to come and make me feel good about myself because she's a VP or whoever the hell she thinks she is. Because the reality is who I am is greater than that. And so these brothers who come out here keep calling her Black when we have no reason to think of her as Black in any way, especially when we think about her history when she was whatever she was in California and did a lot of damage to Black families there. And we have, what's the sister's name? Cherie. Her name is similar to mine, Cherie something, who basically had a sickle cell daughter who ended up having issues based on her going to jail. I never forgot any of that. And I spoke loud and proud against her the whole damn election. Didn't care how my family felt, how my friends felt, and still don't. And I'm glad that half the country turned red. But the reality was, like you said, it wasn't about Trump. It was really about Kamala losing.
Well, look, I mean, she was a political constant. There was just so much going on here. Okay. Now, in the last 45 days, pretty much everything that I had assumed had happened, that's what occurred. Joe Biden wasn't supposed to run for re-election. I was about to say resurrection, re-election. He wasn't supposed to run for re-election. He decided, though, he was going to do it because he was worried about him and his son, Hunter. There's the real issue. He was hoping he could stretch this out for another 4 years so that it wouldn't look as bad as it's going to look. But that didn't work out. He was already in mental decline, so the debate just blew all that up. He didn't stick by his word. They thought he was going to make it, but he wasn't. Now, the Wall Street Journal, like I said, put out this article saying that he wasn't even being given the right information about the polls. He just has this inner circle that's been feeding him garbage because they're trying to keep their little old jobs. So they don't care if senility is in the White House so long as they still sitting there. Now they're all gone. When he got bounced, he thought he was going to hang strong. He negotiated a little side deal for himself, but then he got out the race. It was Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama who instigated it. They're the ones who said, you going now. They put George Clooney out there as their crash dummy to lead the charge because he's not elected. So he doesn't have to worry about political office, but he does want to stay in good with them folks. So he was willing to fall on his sword for the team. Okay. But before he left, on his way out the door, he throws them a curveball. And rather than allow them to do what they wanted to do, which was to host a convention and choose another candidate, he immediately endorses Kamala Harris, which raises her to the top of the profile, and you can't move it. And most people did not understand he was not leaving office. He just wasn't running for re-election, but they know their civics well enough. The vice president's supposed to take over when the president's not in office. Well, he's still in office, so most folks didn't understand that, but it didn't matter. They were going to back his number two. And that was what Nancy and them were hoping he wouldn't do. So he did that as a screw you to them on his way out the door. They have now admitted that that's what he did. Nancy Pelosi is giving interviews saying that. We wasn't expecting him to do that. Really, we wanted to have a convention so we could choose a candidate, but, he endorsed Kamala Harris, so we kind of just had to go with him. None of them were happy about that. So everything I said, the way it went down, that was the way it happened. And they could have gotten away with it if Kamala were a more competent candidate.
Come on.
The problem is that Kamala Harris been hanging out with folk like D.L. Hugley and these Hollywood Negro celebrities, so they know her personally.
Okay.
That's the significance of her running around with Willie Brown and Montel Williams. Y'all niggas know her personally. Now, I don't know how many of y'all got your turn back in the day.
Come on.
I don't know how many of y'all came out to Los Angeles and got your turn with the DA. All I know is that DJ Slice is able to sleep with the damn DA of Fulton County in Atlanta. So if DJ Anonymous can sleep with the DA of Fulton County in Atlanta, ain't no telling what the hell happened out there in California, Los Angeles.
Exactly.
There's no telling what the hell going down in San Francisco. So in any case, all that went down the way it was. We're just now finding out who these people are. They done turned all kinds of tricks to get where they at. And basically, it's like, can you imagine what Kamala Harris's Rolodex could do? What? Y'all, you talk about the Epstein. Let me go there tonight. Y'all talk about the Epstein list. Folks talk about the Epstein list. Man, do y'all have any idea if Kamala Harris's Rolodex ever came out,
Right.
of all the folks she done slept with and all the dirt she got,
Right.
and what she knows, and she is a little half-ass lawyer, man. I have never heard anybody say what I just said tonight. Could you all imagine? Everybody talks about the body count, but I'm like, by the way, how many documents do you think she's kept? How many records do you think she's kept? Because we know she did a whole bunch of stuff. She talked trash about Willie Brown. He won't say one negative thing about her. I want y'all to put this together tonight. This is the first time anybody's ever discussed this. Kamala Harris is sitting up here treating Willie Brown like a pariah. That man won't say a single negative thing about her. He has nothing but good things to say about her. So she can trash him, but he don't say nothing bad about her. Nigga, what she got on you?
That's an excellent point.
Nigga, what she got on you?
Yes.
All these other folk out there, and we know she done laid up with hella men. She ain't nobody saying nothing.
That's a hell of a point.
Nobody's saying. We know the body count is looking like Hustler video, but nobody's saying anything. She can talk trash. Joe Biden. Oh, y'all, am I about to blow the roof off this son of a gun? Countdown 2020 election. At the debate, remember Kamala Harris? I believe the women.
Right.
The women who say Joe Biden did something, I believe them women.
Yep.
And I'll be damned if that's not who Joe Biden chose as his running mate.
Exactly.
Y'all, did Kamala Harris let him know, look here, you old pale bastard? If you think you're going to put anybody else on this ticket, please remember I was an attorney general. And please remember, I keep all my damn text messages, emails, everything else.
Okay.
So you sure you want to do this? Because if I ain't going to the White House, none of us going.
It's the truth.
Man, next thing you know.
They like to throw her husband under the bus for sleeping with the nanny, but her husband is a virgin compared to this.
Okay, listen to me. I don't think Kamala Harris is sleeping with Doug. What? Y'all, come on. I don't think she's sleeping with him. Even if he didn't look like a used latex glove. I mean, this is one of them sexless if I've ever seen a sexless marriage, it's that one. She didn't even let him get her pregnant.
Okay.
Think about that for a few moments. How weird is that? She'd rather raise somebody else's kids. She won't even let this bum-ass beta get her pregnant. Hell no. Wow. This nigga's like Stedman. He's like a white Stedman with equally awkward. He's like a white Stedman to Oprah, y'all. You know it.
Wow.
His hands go to the back. None of his suits fit properly. He looks all weird. He don't want to he has no hobbies. Right. His hobby is being next to her. That's the only thing you know him for. You don't know him for a damn thing else. His hobby, his only accomplishment in life is being next to her.
Okay.
Take Kamala Harris out of Doug's life, and what has he got? Who is he? Nothing.
Wow. Okay.
Nothing. All the rest of the Jews are looking at him like, you're a disappointment. We're so disappointed in you. This is ridiculous. They don't even take him to the side. Other Jewish people take them to the side and berate them. They berate Doug in public. They just let him, Ben Shapiro and the rest of them, they don't even take him to the side. They're like, man, damn the Jewish code. You're a disgrace. I'm serious. Go take a look at all your Jews online. They go at Doug. Wow. They keep the code of conduct for everybody except Doug. Wow. Okay, y'all, the Torah and the Talmud applies to everybody except Doug. I don't know which verse in there this got except Doug on, but we abide by all the Jewish rules except Doug. Not him. I mean, we can go in on him. So I'm just saying, dude, it's like he can't get a loan. He can't get a parking ticket forgiven. Doug is on the outside looking in. He's a Jewish white man with no privilege. No privileges whatsoever. It's just a bunch of weird stuff going on. So what I'm saying is that, that's like Stedman. There's no sex going on in that house. Not between him and her. No, I think everybody else in the house might be getting it in, but not Doug. Okay. Doug is sitting there on Pornhub or, I don't know, some puppy website or something. But everybody else is getting in except, like, I'm serious. Like, Doug is the kind of dude, like, you can imagine the freak off happening and Doug is sitting in the corner just watching and just, he's sitting in the corner just watching. Can I rub her toe? I'm serious, y'all. I'm not even joking. Like, that's the kind of, tell me a man who you looked at who epitomizes cuck more than him. I'm not joking.
Okay.
So when y'all think about it, it's like, damn, we never thought about this before. Look at him. Because we know Kamala is outside. We know it's on.
Okay.
With her, so you don't think all of a sudden she let a little thing like turning 60 stop it. Oh, hell no. She like, oh no. We know she's still in the drink.
Right, exactly.
Right after election day, I'm like, oh, when she came back, she bloodshot eyes, she all blitzed. I'm like, oh, Doug looks straight as an arrow. This nigga ain't drinking nothing but tonic water. So his woman's blitzed, but he is straight as an arrow? No. Wow. So y'all, let me tell you, one of these years is going to come out. Remember, you heard it from me. Deductive reasoning. That woman got a list on people. She doesn't have everybody, but she got enough of them. Enough of them that they didn't really want to mess with her. And when she finally had a chance to ease it on in, she went for it, even if she couldn't win. She was like, hey, I'm going. Y'all gonna back it. I don't give a damn how it go. I'm taking my run. I'm making my run. And everybody else fell back and said, we'll wait till 2028 when she finished screwing this up. And for a minute, you thought she was going to make it, and she would have done it if she could have left Beyonce and the rest of them out there to be her representatives. She does fine as long as you don't talk to her.
It's true. And I believe if she had just been her damn Indian self, really. I mean, just be you. Stop trying to cosplay as me. Because I couldn't go for that. And everything in me went against that. So,
but she was herself. Baby, that's the problem. The problem is she was. I played for you all a video when she went to go speak to the Asian American Pacific Islander convention. That is her, man. She's never been the life of the party. She's always been kind of. Once again, look, when you a sexy little white light-skinned chick, people lie to you. Okay. They lie to you. You're a bum ass. You have no personality. You know, you're not interesting, but you're light skinned and cute. Mm-hmm. Meghan Markle, Mariah Carey, Halle Berry, a parade of bimbos and dunces, but they biracial and they're cute. Okay. So men lie, women lie, people lie. Right. When Barack Obama was president of the Harvard Law Review, you could see his credentials. All you heard was Kamala Harris in the sorority. She has no similar to such credentials anywhere. Right. So nobody was willing to lie for Barack. They've been lying for Kamala ever since. Ain't that right, Willie Brown?
Is it true?
So that's why I want you to understand. It's like, what did she do? She's never been this thrilling thing anywhere. She's never been an icon or a paragon of Indian Americans in America or Indians in India. That's never been true. She was just the cute little face out there in some political circles. She got mobbed up and threw them legs around folk to get hooked up. And she used it as far as it would go. But if you folk in California already know this, by the way. My folks who live in California already know this about her. As Attorney General and Senator, she was never this brilliant individual. She was never this wonderful orator. She was never this wonderful activist. She never gave these spellbinding speeches. She never did that. It was never that way. Her job was to sit up there and look cute and smile.
Okay.
And then eventually she got too old for it to look cute, and she just cashed in all her favors all at once. And that's why she's not going to be governor of California, because you already cashed in your chips.
For that one.
You don't have anybody else you can hold it over. So that's it. The run is over.
And that cute face can only take you so far when you don't have the mental ability for real. And
that cute face can only take you so long when you ain't saying nothing.
Exactly.
A cute face. As men, we'll sit here and let a cute chick sit up here and babble her ass off. You know, if there's some sex on the agenda, if it's on the back burners, okay, you keep babbling your ass then. Let me let you tire yourself out. As men will do that. We're talking about politics, baby. She can't do that with you and get the same benefit. You're like, okay, I'm not going to listen to a babble for no amount of time because there is no sex on the back burner. You ain't waiting on that.
Thank you.
So right there, she lost 50% of y'all. If she doesn't say something real and substantive, you checked out. So as men, we like, okay, there's no sex coming, period, because you running for office. So now we don't have to listen. So what I'm saying is that you have a female who was able to use those tools at a local level and use sex appeal at the local level to circumvent being actually vetted and analyzed. She got to a national level and she no longer had any of those tools. She had to survive on her own merits, and she didn't have the merits.
Crashed and burned.
I'll let you have the last word.
Well, I appreciate you. And I can't think of the professor's name, but there's a light-skinned professor who just botches poetry all the damn time. And he has this fixation on Kamala. He actually got caught is some white lady who is a politician where he took a picture with her. I can't think of his name. Damn.
You're talking about Michael Eric Dyson. I did a whole program on him.
And D.L. Hughley, all of them, all their ilk reminds me of the guys in school who would act like they were so black and loved us black women so much, but all along, they just had these fantasies about other women. And I can't stand that type of man, because you're not a man. You're a boy who needs to really grow the hell up. And that's my last word.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, look here. You find out what people really think of you when you ain't really got a lot to offer, when they think that they have more to offer than you. That's when you find out what they really think. And a bunch of these folk out here virtue signaling and trying to act and pretend as if they really love black women and stuff like that. They throw that out there as a term, but then they don't protect black women, because if you're telling black women to go out and vote for nothing, that black women need to put the needs of illegal aliens ahead of themselves, go out there and go say that in public and say that in the open so everybody can hear that's what you stomping for. Let it be that. Let it be that. Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson got caught trying to get his hand in the cookie jar.
Cookie! Nom, 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 nom. Oh, nom, 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 nom.
Michael Eric Dyson didn't even get his hand in the cookie jar. He got his hand stuck trying to get it in the cookie jar. He was trying to get up in there. He had heard old girl was a freak. What? I ain't messing around with you there, Representative Gray. Baby, the word on the street's out about you. Girl, your rep is in the street. I ain't mad at you. Do what you do. I ain't mad at you. Do what you do. But, baby, your rep is out there. Michael heard your rep was out there. He heard you was outside. Michael heard you was outside. He heard you was a freak. Michael said, damn, well, let me get my turn. Michael heard you was a freak. He heard that men were turning you down lately. He heard that your fiance called off the wedding. Damn. Yeah, Michael heard your fiance called off the wedding. He said, hey, let me get in where I fit in. Let me get in where I fit in. She said, nigga, not you. Michael like, hey, I thought you was lonely. She said, not that lonely. Michael feels betrayed. Michael feels betrayed. Now he's back. I love black women. Okay, well, you know, girls DM. She said, wait a minute. All right, let me go ahead and get Larry over here on Zoom. Larry, what is on your mind?
I goes to TBA. I just want to say keep up the great work, and it boils down to all these celebrities. The only ones I ever really listened to is Damon Dash and Lord Jamar. They're the only ones that always speak truth to power. And Lord Jamar said he was live the other night, and he said he wants to be interviewed. He wants to be on your channel one day. He loves you, and he listens to your program, your broadcast all the time.
Well, like I say, man, he's been 10 toes down. Now that Fat Joe situation, you know, all I can say is it spiraled up. I got probably the most watched video about that whole thing right now. It's gotten a bunch of views in a short amount of time. Folks are referencing it all over the place. And really, it's a result of the fact that this was already going on. This was a result of the fact that this was already going on. People were already talking about this. Fat Joe would not be as upset about this as he is if he wasn't hearing about this in his personal circles, if money wasn't getting taken out of the pockets, if it wasn't affecting him. He wouldn't have said anything, because all he had to do was say nothing. He could have finished that interview. He made it a point on Math Hoffa's program to bring us up. He was even saying this is going to give him too much clout. Dude, if it's going to give us too much clout, don't say nothing. But the problem was the damage was already done, and he really needs to say something against it, but he doesn't know what to say. Oh, yeah, and then Math had to put the damn video right back up again. What? Math Hoffa took it down, y'all. He took it down, but then he had to put it back up. I know Math was upset. Math got some explaining to do. Math, you got some explaining to do, bro. Why'd you take that clip down? You took it down. I guess he figured nobody would notice. Nigga, they noticed. Exactly. Millions of times they noticed. Had to put it right back up again. So I don't know if he thought he was protecting Joe or whatever the case may be. Nigga, it's too late for that. It's too late. It's too late.
Fat Joe would be nowhere without Black Americans. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, nobody cares about him. All his real hits is featured with Black Americans at the end of the day. And now he's hot right now because he's speaking about us in the ill light, and that's why everybody's dogging on him. And Matt Hoffa knows he's just going to get more clout. He got all the bad negativity from it. He took it down. Now he put it back up and thinks nobody's going to notice it. So people are going to call him out because his people are from Barbados anyways. But I'll leave that alone.
Joe should have just bent the knee. Joe should have just bent the knee, let it be what it is, and let it blow over and get back into somebody's studio up there. That's what he should have done. Right now, I mean, everybody's talking about the Cuban link. I mean, just anybody and everybody who don't like him, which is most folk, anybody and everybody is talking. He's become the number one trending topic of conversation for all the wrong reasons. He should have just bent the knee, said nothing, and kept it moving. That would have been the smart move. But bruh, when you know something is really bothering you, you don't really have the option of saying nothing. The truth is eventually going to come out. And it's just like I said with Dr. Laura Schlesinger and the rest of them. If this is something a person really wants to say, it's going to eat away at them until they say it. Win, lose, draw, whatever. It's just he can't contain himself. So let this be a lesson, y'all. First Pearly Things, now Fat Joe's. He should have asked somebody else about it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, y'all. Somebody should have asked him how that went for Pearly Things. It's like, hey, Joe, before you do this, before you go at the foundational Black authority, before you do this, you might want to ask Pearly Things how that turned out. I know it looks like it's going to go easy. Yes. It's not quite going to go the way you tell yourself. It's going to be a raucous ass Christmas. Y'all imagine Joe's at the damn house kicking the dog, beating on the Christmas tree. What? Oh, he is messing up the damn stockings. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Omari up here on Zoom. All right, Omari on Zoom. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, JB. Thank you very much for the broadcast. Happy Advocacy. We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago in which I brought up the book Brave New World, and you had so many great insights. One of the points that I have to disagree with you with is when you said that stuff like A Brave New World and stuff like 1984 and other books were not written with us in mind. And I would say that actually our good master teacher, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, would disagree with you. That she would say that that's not true because according to her theory, these people can't get us out of our minds. So even if they don't consciously do like a sort of Heart of Darkness type of project with the Black man front and center, subconsciously they have us on the brain 24/7. And the book Brave New, and there's a point to this, bear with me. The book Brave New World, there are several instances in which Black people are us as a whole are referenced, are featured, are talked about, for better or for worse. You recall one scene in the beginning where they're talking about the hatcheries and how the different populations reproduce, and one of the managers of the hatchling, the scientific laboratory where the humans are grown, he makes a pithy remark about those dang Africans. Their women can produce so much more than we, because it's set in like Europe or England or something like that. But the manager says, he makes a comment about the African controlled hatcheries that they have in Africa. They breed so much better. They can produce so much more from those female ovaries, stuff like that. And with this D.L. Hughley conversation, one particular one of my favorite chapters from that book is one of the you would say the climactic, one of the final chapters, where the closest thing to an antagonist is presented in front of John the Savage, in front of Bernard Marx, in front of Helmholtz Watson. It's the character of Mustafa Mond, if you remember that character. And I think the fact that there's a lead character named Mustafa Mond, I mean, tell me that's what kind of European name is that? That sounds like kind of like more of an African black name to me.
Intervention! Okay, brother. Unmute yourself there. I think I covered this before. You are really, 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 did I mention really, into those books. You really are. It's just, I wonder if the reading list actually extends beyond them.
It does. Bear with, please.
Clearly, no. We've born with you enough. We Jason Bourne. We've born so much we're Jason Bourne.
Okay, I'll cut to the quick.
Okay, slow yourself down.
Okay.
I meant what I said. We get it. That's very nice. That's very wonderful. There's a lot of books out there. These two in particular, you've taken a particular interest in them. At the end of the day, the real thing is, what are we going to do about it? Because treating books as if they're holy writ, and if we could all examine this, we would be able to divine some exclusive truth or reality to it. Okay, that's a novel thing, although that's not accurate. So the real thing is what you do about it, because if your conversations are always coming back to 1984 and Animal Farm and George Orwell, that's a prescient writer to be certain. In the Brave New World, well, yeah, prescient thing to be certain. But okay, what do we do after that?
Well, that's my question. I mean, how do we? What D.L. Hughley is doing is people like Vivica Fox, with this faux virtue signaling of y'all didn't vote for Kamala because quote unquote you all don't like civilization that much. It's like, that's why I'm going back to, it's like that scene where Mustafa Mond asks the Savage, hey, you, Mr. Savage, you don't like civilization too much. You're unevolved, you're sexist, you're misogynistic, or your mind's not advanced enough. This virtue signaling that the boule class keeps doing, where they act like they have civilization pegged and figured out, and we just don't get it. We just are the unenlightened savages that just don't get it. I mean, how can we make it clear that this condescension doesn't work anymore? How can we smack them upside the head? That's why I present the question to you. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, the first thing that we did was we got outside, we talked amongst each other. We do that here. You want a metaphor you can use? Arnold Rothstein from Boardwalk Empire. There are sometimes months, years where I don't place a bet because there's not a play to make. But when an opportunity presents itself and there is a play to make, I bet it all. We've been sitting back in the cut since 2020. There was not a play to make between 2020 and 2024. When 2024 rolled around, there was a play to make, and boy, did we make it. And they are yelling and screaming about it since. So those are strategic things, because the real thing is, you are going to spend literally 300 or 400 times the amount of time in training that you're going to spend in a fight. Let's just say that a fight, let's just give you credit, because a fight's not one whole day. It's more like an hour of that day. But let's just say I make it one day. You're going to spend 3 to 6 months training for it. That's 90 to 180 days.
Yes.
So
most
you're
of the injuries occur in training camp.
But my point is, you're going to spend about 200 or 300 times the amount training that you will actually fighting. But if you don't train, you're going to lose the fight. But
unless you're John Jones.
But if you only focus on the day that you're fighting, and that's the only day you can be focused, and you're just saying, well, forget all these other days, I'll lock in when it's fight night.
Of course,
That's why
yes.
you can never win a fight. So what you do with the time between 2020 and 2024, that's where you're prepping everything. We didn't slap DL Hughley upside the face on November 5th. We've been doing it for the last 4 years. Steve Harvey, we've been doing it for the last 4 years. If we in the new black media were not talking about them beforehand, we've been talking about DL the whole time. Steve, the whole time. Kamala, the entire time. We never got off on her just because she became vice president. We've been talking about Roland the whole time. So all the people that they were going to use in 2024 to go ahead and close the deal, we already had set the narrative between 2020 and 2024. So they only woke up in the last 3-4 months. We've been on their necks for the last 3-4 years. That's why November 5th just seemed like it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. Just like I want to say it was Krugman said about going bankrupt. Just, you go a little bit at a time and then all at once. But that's what happens. So what we're doing right now, that's what it is. That's how you do it. It's not today. It's all the days before now. Can you be consistent for 3 or 4 years? Can you do that? If you can, then you can win. But if you're only focused on today, you didn't do any preparation. You haven't been talking about these people the whole time. Well, hell yeah, when election day rolls around, you just showed up, but they've really been working in the background with their people on the low. You got to be out here doing this. So when people ask, Jason, what can we do? You're doing it here. You're doing it here. The very fact that we're hosting this conversation ourselves. DL Hughley hosted the conversation. We hosted one. Take a look at the election day results. And I'll show you who people were listening to. But here's the difference. DL Hughley waited until the summer of 2020, or fall of 2024 to host his conversation. We've been hosting it every single weekend for the last 15 years. He jumps up on a random Tuesday a couple of weeks before the election. So you want to know, but is it a winning strategy? I rest my case. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. And we're going to get a reading list together there. But, people can get impatient about things. People can get impatient about things. And I understand that. And what do you do about it here? It's like, you're not going to get these things, you're not going to get these things to happen instantaneously. It's not a television show. It's not a sitcom. That's not the way it works. These other folks here didn't understand. They were trying to tell themselves, well, they're just some irrelevant folks out there. They ain't doing nothing. They're just some folks out here. They're not really saying it. We don't have to worry about them. And in reality, they should have been saying it the whole damn time. They should have been watching us the whole damn time. They should have been responding the whole damn time. They showed up. They were trying to do this part-time. Where were they since 2020 to address all those holes in the game that Kamala Harris had? Where were they to address all these problems in 2020 when they saw what was going on? If you were going to put her on that damn ticket, you should have been patching those holes back then. You saw how disastrously it went. But then again, I told y'all, they're not really trying to do that. They're not really trying to see Kamala Harris win, and I'll be damned if they didn't. I'll be damned if that's not exactly what they did. They were sitting up here acting like, we'll show it when we want to. We'll just show up when we want to, and then they showed up one damn day and they realized the race was already over. Brother, we've been stomping these streets for 4 damn years. By the time that they finally did start, by the time DL finally decided he wanted to start speaking, he didn't realize, dude, black folk ain't been sitting around for the last 4 damn years waiting for you to come talk. Black folk ain't been sitting around for the last half a decade waiting for DL Hugley to come and speak. So by the time that DL wanted to engage, he realized we've been engaged. Y'all aren't speaking to half of black America. Don't have to. I've always told y'all, we get to that critical mass, you get around that 10% mark, that's going to be enough to swing an election. Donald Trump lost in 2020 by 48,000 votes. This time lost by considerably more. Chat room's going nuts. There's a crazy part about it right there. I can see the chat room just fine. The chat room is going nuts. This thing is sitting up here messing around with my stream on it. But the crazy part is, by the way, I can see you all in the chat room. Y'all are just posting, going crazy. So I can see you all. I can see y'all. Look, they upset about it. They got every reason to be. YouTube is not happy about it. Us, us being able to host our own conversations and speak like this is not what they're looking for. They're not looking for us to have a conversation amongst ourselves. We're supposed to be going to their corporate puppets, their hand-selected celebrities and advocates. We're supposed to go and be bowing to them. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be sitting up here talking amongst ourselves. We're not supposed to be allowed to do that. We were supposed to just show up and consume. I want to bring this in a societal context here, now that I'm back on the stream. We're supposed to sit up here and just consume. We were supposed to let Viacom buy BET and then shove white people in front of us on BET. I'm talking about in a blatant American apartheid. We were supposed to just go along with whatever they throw in front of us. Because literally what they say to themselves is that black people follow whoever the biggest celebrity in the room is. That's literally what they say, that black folk follow whoever the biggest celebrity in the room is. So if the biggest celebrity in the room is Denzel, they'll go for it. If the biggest celebrity in the room is Brad Pitt, they'll go for it. That's what they do. That's how they talk about us. So when they sat up here and shoved these folk in our faces and put Fat Joe out there, we were supposed to just say, hey, didn't Remy Ma do a song with him? We weren't supposed to say, wait a minute, we have our own positions. We weren't supposed to do that. See, that messes up the money. That messes up the money. That messes up the prospects. That messes up the program. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're throwing a damn monkey wrench in the machine when we start saying things that DL Hugley ain't saying. DL Hugley promised the Democrats that he would be able to get us to talk about something other than black issues. And guess what? Fat Joe promised the Democrats that he would be able to get Latinos to show up for the Democrats. What? Oh, but it's true. But it's true. Fat Joe was doing rallies and talking about how he was going to get the Puerto Ricans to vote for Kamala Harris. Man, Fat Joe's stock fell through the damn floor, y'all. It wasn't just one person. Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, Beyonce, Fat Joe, everybody who stuck their neck out there. Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr. We can go down to George Clooney, everybody. And we were supposed to just consume. We're supposed to all just be fanboys and fangirls. And then they looked up and that's not the way it went. It went a different way. So YouTube is not happy. They don't like this kind of conversation because I'm not here telling you all just go buy something and go with the program and don't have an agenda and don't have any independent standards and don't have any priorities of your own. I'm not telling you to do that. So that's hella problematic for them. We're not supposed to be we're supposed to be getting together right now so we can talk about the twerk off and the freak off and the turn up. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. We're supposed to just say, okay, remember you got to vote on such and such a day and then we can get back to the bull job we was doing. We're sitting here talking about how we can have power, wealth, and influence, how we can have control. We're not supposed to have that conversation. Remember when D.L. Hugley's ass sat up there talking at the BET Beta Male Summit, they weren't talking about power. Remember? They were not having a conversation about power. They were talking about you supposed to show up and no matter what's happening, vote for the Democrat. They weren't talking about power. Now, when DL sits in front of Vlad, all he wants to try to do is flex about what he got. But their little beta male BET summit was not talking about how we gonna come up. It was just talking about vote for the Democrat. But when you go talk to Vlad, he talking about how great he doing. You're out of touch, dude. While you were sitting back on your ass, collecting them checks, hosting your little rinky-dink ass radio program, talking to the same civil rights fossils and old washed up niggas like yourself, while you were doing that, we've been out here doing the hard work, beating these streets, beating these pavements, showing up every week. I have been advocating for the interests of my people every single week, including holidays.
Damn! And deal with it, nigga.
I need to remind y'all again, we've been in the new black media. I specifically been behind this microphone every single weekend and holiday. Ain't missed it. If I missed any, you can count them on one damn hand in a decade and a half of doing this. Y'all know where you gonna find Jason Black on your so-called holidays. Not gonna be sitting around the table with the turkey. Not gonna be making no cornbread hash. Not gonna be sitting up here whining and dining and kicking it with celebrities and where's the turnip spot. I'm gonna be right here with my people. Every time. You can't fake that level of consistency. If it wasn't real, what the hell I'm doing here? If it was some broads I'm supposed to be laid up with, what the hell I'm doing wasting time with y'all? I could give you 30 little old funky minutes and then get back to the Birdman hand rub. But I'm right here and it's to the point now that y'all know where I'm gonna be. It is a tradition. You know I don't give a damn if it's only 4 of us up in here. It's always thousands and thousands and thousands, but I don't give a damn if it only be 4 people up in here. I'm going to be here. I'm not going to be out celebrating with nobody. I'm not going to be rationalizing the way. I'm going to be right here 10 toes down. The war goes on. White supremacy does not take a holiday, and neither do I. D.L. Hugley is sitting at the house right now, sitting on White Santa's lap. Damn! Pause. D.L. Hugley is at the house right now, stuffing the stockings and probably got his ass dressed up like Black Santa. Not us. So when he finally does come sashaying around the corner and tells himself he gonna come speak to the people, he can only speak to them after I get done. Now you all have something to compare it to. You have something to compare it to. So when he shows up, now he's telling the real damn thing. And he looking down on niggas. I'm 60 years old and rich. As if that's a benefit to the rest of us. As if that does something for the rest of us. Like, no, nigga, you bought off. That's why you can say the crazy stuff you do. Because you bought off. The problem for you is we're not. We've been having this conversation every damn week, including holidays. Where the hell is DL on New Year's, on Christmas, on Thanksgiving, on 4th of July? You know where I'm gonna be. And one more thing, we know where you're gonna be. I didn't do this by my damn self. Let me take a moment here to backtrack for a minute. I didn't take down Fat Joe by my damn self. I said this before, I'm just the messenger. All of you are the message I came to bring. Fat Joe is not on Math Hoffa's program sitting up here wigging out because one man said something. He's not up here spazzing out because one man said something. If only one man said something, he wouldn't have even acknowledged it existed because technically speaking, it wouldn't. Folks, people say things on Twitter all the time. Why did he make an issue of this? Because this is something he's hearing offline on a regular, consistent basis. Now I will go further. Fat Joe, the reason why you decided you had to say something is because Viacom told you you're not gonna be back. What? Y'all mark my words. The only thing that would make sense for Fat Joe to sit up here and spaz out like this is because somebody at the corporations called him and told him, we done gave you 2 cracks at bat. You ain't getting the job done. We've done our research. We're getting polls and exit polls and surveys. Folks are saying things about you, but they're saying this over here, and they're telling them where it's coming from. I'm telling you all, based on his behavior, somebody dropped the dime to him and let him know, yeah, not so sure we're gonna need you to come back. And this is the stuff we're hearing as the reason why it ain't working. Your credentials in hip hop are questionable. That's why the ratings, y'all please remember this last damn BET Awards, nobody even knew it happened. The last BET Awards that they aired here, I talked about that, nobody even knew it happened. Fat Joe is such a damn benefit, nobody even knew it occurred. So now they're letting them know, it's like, yeah, dude, you don't have them kind of credentials. We were hoping you'd be a good Manchurian candidate. That ain't working. They let them know, it's like, yeah, don't call us, we'll call you. They let you know they ain't calling back. He's like, oh, wait a minute, let me grab a microphone. And let me go ahead, start trying to take shots back and let folks know, y'all messing up my bread. So if you want to know what happened, listen to Jason Black. I'm telling you what occurred there. Look and see if he gets invited back again. Look and see if that happens or if they go looking for somebody else. Because usually this kind of behavior only happens when you're not going to get a repeat invite. When somebody lets you know you ain't coming back, then they start yelling. Then they start scapegoating. They don't go at the corporation that told them they ain't coming back. They go at the other folks. If it was just one man saying this, he wouldn't be spazzing like that. If it was just one man doing it, DL Hugley would not be sitting up here making an ass of himself like this. He's doing it because he heard it from more than one place. DL Hugley understands that, please understand, y'all, he's not talking for Kamala Harris. He's talking for himself. DL Hugley has lost his credibility among black men.
with it, nigga.
DL Hughley knows he can't sit among the men. So what he's going to say is, see, the problem is I'm 60 years old and y'all don't want to listen to your elders and y'all just don't like women. DL Hughley knows he does not have any credibility among the men. So now he's trying to preemptively explain away why it is that nobody's going to listen to him. Y'all just don't like that I be sticking up for black women. You mean Kamala Harris? She's black now? Well, she's a woman. Y'all, do you remember that? Realize he didn't even try to stand up for the black woman part of it. He just was standing up for the woman part. Did you get that? He didn't even try to stand up for the black part. He was standing up for the woman part. DL knows he doesn't have any more credibility or standing among the men. Not anymore, he doesn't. That's a scary ass place for DL to be in, ain't it? He's gonna have to start telling a bunch of Lil Nas X and Frank Ocean jokes.
Nigga, please.
He gonna have to start telling a bunch of Lil Nas X and Frank Ocean jokes. He's gonna have to start telling a bunch of jokes about how it's cool to coon. He's gonna have to start telling them kind of jokes now. Because he can't speak among the men. He looks crazy now trying to speak among the men. So Kamala Harris isn't the only one that lost. He lost too. But it wasn't Jason Black that did it. People, those election night numbers, that wasn't me. I mean, that's not just me. I'm the guy who's just delivering the message. If I was delivering a screwed up, messed up message, y'all would have gone somewhere else. See, all the coons in training are over there listening to Candace Owens. All the coons in training are over there listening to Officer Tatum. All the coons in training are over there listening to Coleman Cruz. But those were the same people who were stomping for Trump 4 years ago. So they're not the ones that moved this election. They were stomping for Trump 4 years ago. We see where the numbers moved, and that's not Candace Owens' audience. That's not Ben Shapiro's audience. That's not Officer Tatum's audience. The places where the Democrats lost ground, those are not those people's audience. And DL was unable to move them. One more person who really lost their damn shine, Tyler Perry, dude. What happened in Atlanta? What happened in Fulton County, Tyler? Tyler tried to flex his muscles and flex his credentials and take a look at me and what I done did. Didn't at all turn out the way he told himself it would. Not at all. Tyler Perry went there, cashed in his damn chips, and came up snake eyes. Not at all. And you know Tyler Perry don't rock with black men. I mean, he rock with them. I mean, but y'all get the damn point. Damn! So they trying to figure out what to do here now. It's like, buddy, you should have been... Tyler Perry, if you wanted to have credibility with us, you should have been stomping for us for the last 8 years. You want to have credibility with us, you should have been stomping for the last 8 years. Jason Black shouldn't have to say a damn word about reparations. DL Hughley and Tyler Perry should be the ones talking about reparations. Oh, but they ain't going to talk about it because as far as they're concerned, they got theirs. The real problem is the rest of us ain't sold our damn souls and certain body parts so that we could get ours. In their world, every black male and the black females would just be an open air whorehouse. They looking at us crazy. You know who DL Hughley has become? Oh, I'm on your ass tonight. I was going to wait till the weekend, DL, but no. Pause. I said I'm on his ass. Pause. DL Hughley has become the that works down there in the produce section at Albertsons.
What?
That's who DL is now. Y'all done seen him. Many of y'all done work for him at the produce section at Albertsons, at the Lowe's, at the Home Depot, at Wal. It's always the old nigga. He's smiling in the white folks' faces. He only smiles at black females if they let him pinch him on the ass. Hey, what you doing there, girl? This nigga looking like Uncle Ruckus. Y'all know him. Y'all know him. At the police department, at the hospital, at the university, y'all know him. He's the old nigga. Always smiling at the white folks. Trying to convince them that he ain't like the rest of us. He'll wink at the black women if he think they'll let him pinch him on the ass. But if they don't, he always up in your face yelling at you. The black males, he ain't got nothing. All he wants to do is wag his finger and condescend to them. That's probably y'all little young niggas need to put your pants up. Y'all little young niggas, you ain't applying yourselves. Why do you need to be out after 8 o'clock anyway? When I was your age, mama told me be in when the street lights was on. Why do y'all need to be out after 7 p.m. any damn way? Mama used to tell me wasn't nobody up at 10 p.m. except for hoes and criminals. That's the kind of old nigga that is. Sitting up here always cheesing in Miss Ann's face. How you doing there, Miss Ann? She's half his damn age. He talking about Miss Ann. But the other black males around him, he doesn't have any camaraderie or connection or no clout with them. That's how you end up with old niggas like this. Y'all have seen them. You've worked with them. You've met them. You know who they are. They're always telling you it's your fault. They're always defending the system. They're always saying that if you would have did what they did. And then you know what the nigga did. It's like, I'll be damned. Sitting his ass at the damn bakery at the store. He's the guy out there pushing the damn shopping carts and telling you what's wrong, that you expect too much. You need to just be happy that you're here. Don't you worry about what the folk running the place are doing to undermine you. You should just be happy that you're here. That's where DL Hugley is today. And this is why the younger comedians ain't got nothing good to say about him. And it's a whole laundry list of old niggas like that. So you see, there's a reason. Folks, understand something. If DL Hugley represented black people, black folk you all would be listening to his radio show, not my broadcast. Learn the distinction. You'd be listening to his show, not my broadcast. If DL Hugley was actually representing the people, we would all be over there. If Ricky Smiley, I said it. If Ricky Smiley was representing the people, we'd all be over there. Wouldn't be no reason for me to be here if they were representing the people and representing the street. You wouldn't have to be over here with me. That would be redundant. You could be over there with him. The problem is you all did tune in to him at least once. You heard that bull crap going on over there and understood, this ain't nothing but the same old damn minstrel show. They dancing the same old plantation jig, ain't trying to have it. That's why y'all don't do it. That's why. That's why. D.L. Hugley should have spent the better part of the... How long has it been since the original Kings of Comedy? D.L. Hugley should have spent this whole damn time representing black folk. Should have had all these damn years in the tank representing black folk. Y'all, 2,000 people, listen to me. If you don't take away nothing else, the original Kings of Comedy came out a quarter of a century ago. What? Do you hear me? Steve Harvey and D.L. Hugley been out here kissing ass for a quarter of a damn century. Since the September 11th attacks of 2001. Somebody in the chat room said y'all was 3 years old. Some of you either weren't, some of y'all listening to me tonight weren't even born. Some of you listening to me tonight, you weren't even born. And D.L. Hugley and Steve Harvey were perfecting the craft of selling us out. And they've had a quarter of a century now to feather their nests, make sure they're good. And then coming back 25 years later, it's 24, but you get it, a quarter of a century later, telling you and me what we don't need. That we need to vote for something other than ourselves. He literally said that. For those of you joining us here late, let me go ahead and play that for your ass one more time. This is D.L. Hugley on Vlad TV, just released. Fair use, Vlad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have my right. So, right.
I voted for Kamala. I wanted Kamala to win. Now, my stock portfolio is happy that Trump won. You know?
Mine too.
You know, my Tesla stock is very happy that Trump won. But I still voted for Kamala because I felt that that was the right thing to do.
I'm a 60-year-old wealthy black man. Rich, not wealthy, but rich black man. Nothing I voted for had anything to do with me.
Right.
I'm not going to get deported. I'm not going to have an abortion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have my right. So, I think that a society is great when people care about things that don't matter to them.
I think a society is great when people vote for things that they don't care about, for things that don't matter to them. You heard DL just say it out of his own crooked mouth, that in order for you all to get approval from him, he thinks you'll be great when you start supporting things you don't care about. Then what the hell are you voting for? Why the hell are you gonna vote if there's nothing you care about being voted on? This is what happens when you smoke so much damn weed. Damn! When you're off in so many wealthy folks' houses and enclaves, when you've driven so many exotic luxury cars, when you done hung out with so many thoughts from Instagram, you just have an unreal vision of the world. Let's just say what it is, DL. You don't want for nothing. There isn't anything you actually want for. All your needs are met. All your wants are met. You don't actually have anything that you want, and you don't think the rest of us should want anything either. Y'all niggas good. You should vote for things you don't care about. Nigga, we got plenty of stuff we need. Well, you need to vote for things you don't care about. We got plenty of stuff we already need that we do care about. He's telling us we shouldn't care about anything. That's why you, DL, you and Kamala Harris lost the election. and Kamala Harris lost the election. That's what you're upset about. And now you're letting the real attitude come out. He's telling us that we should have just showed up and voted. Folks, 24 years. A lot of you weren't even born, or you weren't even in elementary school when D.L. Hugley's career took off. Now he's an old nigga arguing for why you want too much and you should want less. You shouldn't want all this that you got. Hell, you should be happy for the little bit you got now. And he's telling you, you need to look out for the illegal aliens and for abortion. There's a certain segment of you old niggas when y'all get so damn old and you don't have any financial desires anymore. You just need to go slink off into over the damn horizon, over the hill. Go burrow yourselves into a hole and stay there. You guys are done. You're done. You're through. You're not a benefit to anybody. Your money's not helping anyone. It isn't even helping you. You're not building a legacy that anybody would want to have. There just comes a certain point when you start talking like DL here is, y'all need to have enough money to go have a bunker put onto your damn house like Mark Zuckerberg, and nigga, just go lock your ass in it. Don't tweet, don't nothing else. You're just making an ass of yourself even worse. You don't have anything else to contribute. You don't have anything else to say. You're not just out of touch, you're out of your damn mind. You don't have anything to offer. All of y'all need to get together and just go build a bunker and have one big ass round the clock Diddy party, and so we'll never hear from you again. Cause we have needs out here among my people. The foundation has specific needs that are not being met. DL telling you vote for stuff that don't matter to you. So in other words, stuff that don't matter to us needs to get put ahead of the things that do matter to us. What the hell kind of psychotic political policy is he advocating for, folks? We got real stuff that we need, and he's telling you and me, don't vote for that. You need to vote for some stuff you don't care about. And he's saying it with a straight damn face. This is what happens when you let a nigga like Barack Obama run game on you. A lot of these hairless niggas who hang out at the Diddy Fest, they hang out with Barack Obama, and Obama be putting that mess on them. He be having them smoking that mess, and they start talking like, well, you know, DL, sometimes you have to think about things that are bigger than you. You know, it can be really tempting for you to tell yourself that it's all about you. But, you know, DL, you haven't really become mature politically or as a person until you have thought about things other than yourself. You have to think, I mean, I'm saying that thinking about you is big. Don't get me wrong, DL. Thinking about you is big. But think about more than yourself. That's really big. That's really, really big deal. Oh, you sure is right, Obama. I didn't ever really think about that before, Obama, but I'm so glad you told me that. So glad you said it right there. So, yeah, I wasn't thinking big enough before. I'm thinking a little bit bigger right now. All this stuff I need, because DL, you know, your money's straight, man. You're doing good for yourself here, but you got to think about everybody else. Yeah, that's right, Obama. I got to think about everybody else. I got to think about everybody else except myself. That's the real problem. We can't get all these other folk out here thinking about somebody else. And well, DL, do you think you can talk to those people? And if we throw a few dollars and you have a BET summit, do you think? Well, you know, Obama, if I could bring in some other folk there, I would do that. If I can bring in some other folk, Obama, then that would work. If I can bring in Jermaine Dupri and Too Short, and you know, if I can do that'll work. All right, well, no deal. I'll make some phone calls and I'll make some phone calls and see what I can do. Hope and change and all that. Oh, by the way, you got blunt. You got blunt, DL? I got a few right here. This what happens when little moist niggas hang out with each other. Little moist old niggas hang out with each other. They start talking this garbage to each other and it starts making sense to them. This mess, you've been hanging out with Obama, blowing smoke up your ears so damn long, this is starting to make sense to you. Y'all, this I'm talking about. Obama is used to talking to these black male celebrities like hoes, and they're used to responding like hoes. And then they come to you and me with the hoe babble. That's different right there. I mean, I talked to Barack Obama here, and y'all need to we really need some women to run things. We need competent people. Competence ain't enough. They need to be, y'all just need to vote. By the way, one more thing, DL, you freaking fraud. You didn't talk like this 4 years ago. Damn! You know, when Joe Biden outstripped Kamala Harris, DL wasn't talking like this 4 years ago. When Joe Biden was on the ballot, DL didn't say, you know, Kamala really needs to be there, and it's a shame that we didn't put Kamala on the ballot. DL wasn't talking like this 4 years ago. When Biden was on the ticket, everything was fine. Damn them women. By the way, D.L. Hugley didn't stick up for the women who said that Joe Biden had busy hands, now did he?
Nigga, please.
D.L. Hugley wasn't standing up for none of them women. Not a word. Now all of a sudden, D.L. Hugley is the black male feminist. Nigga, get out of here. Try that on them broads. No, try it on the dumb broads. The smart females ain't even listening to you. This is what happens when a man gets pimped by another man. This what happens when you shave your legs and another man can smack you on the butt cheeks and put your G-string thong on you and you sitting there bobbing your head like you listening to T.D. Jakes. This what happens when a grown man sits up here and lets another man run game on him like a pimp pastor preacher. You need to think about more than just yourself, D.L. That mess works on DL. He's already screwed up in the head and out the damn game. For the rest of us, the rank and file, we ain't trying to have it. We ain't trying to have it. Folks, listen to me. If all of black America was living like DL Hugley, yeah, we would be talking like DL. If all of us was living like that, yeah, we'd probably be talking like him too. The problem is we're not. They grab a hand-picked nigga and then put him in front of the rest of us and say, okay, the rest of you need to live vicariously through him. They woke up in 2024 and wasn't nobody trying to do that. And if DL, if your crooked face ass was talking like this for the last 4 years, dude, you never would have got asked to host that summit. If you would let this be known that this is how you really feel and this is what you really think, that we should be voting for things that don't matter to us. Nigga, this is your damn Kamala Harris. You think I'm going to do something just for black people? No! So just in case you all thought that was isolated to just her, I've shown you the proof. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is how they talk. The only thing that these bastards are consistent about is you shouldn't do anything for black folk. You should not, and you damn sure shouldn't do anything for the foundation. You shouldn't do anything for us. And every time they turn around, they have a new excuse and a new rationale for why they shouldn't do anything for us. Nothing. They shouldn't do anything at all. We just need to roll with whatever the hell they got going. And we should just be happy that D.L. Hugley approves of us. And he literally just said something to you that he would never say to another group of folk anywhere. Would D.L. Hugley go in front of AIPAC and tell Jewish people that they need to vote for things that don't matter to them? Would D.L. Hugley go to the LGBT community and tell them that they should vote for things that don't matter to them. Show me one group of folk he would go in front of and say they should vote for things that don't matter to them. But he'll run in front of DJ Vlad, wag his finger at Team Melanin, and tell us that we need to be voting for things that don't matter to us. Meanwhile, this bastard got everything that matters to him. This scum-sucking, ass-kissing, boot-licking snake has everything that matters to him. All the material things, anyway. He's got everything he wants. So yeah, like some rock-smoking, heroin-addicted hippie, he's trying to tell the rest of us we want too much. We need to want less. Just because he's straight. You should have been, I wish you were saying all this garbage for the last 4 years. You would have made my life a hell of a whole lot easier. You would have made my life a hell of a whole lot easier if you had been saying this mess you talking on Vlad TV today that just got posted. If you had been saying this for the last 5-6 years, folk would have run your ass up off the block years ago.
And deal with it, nigga.
You could have got your ass run off the block years ago if you had just said the truth then. Now you done said the truth. I'm so glad you putting the capstone on this. Understand something. This ain't never gonna go away. We're never gonna let this go. Never. This is your moment right here, DL. This is what you gonna be. Just like Roland Martin became I'm not black in front of Richard Spencer, you are vote for things that don't matter. That's you. So whenever a political discussion comes up with you, when you try to get involved, that's what it's going to be. You're Mr. Y'all need to stop voting for stuff that matters to you. Hell of a spot for you to be in, DL. But don't worry. You got your money and your mansions. Whatever substances you smoking, you got all that. And I'm sure if you go talk to Andrew Gillum, damn, he can give you a few pointers on how to get back in these other folks' good graces. You better work on getting in their good graces because you're not going to be in ours. Not going to happen. Want to send a shout out here to Andrea Roberson.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.
Thank you very much for your support. Nice sister there on the super chat. Andrea says she's gonna forego that Temu. Andrea said, Jason, I'm not gonna buy that big screen TV I was gonna get on Temu. Andrea's decided to go ahead and pause that for a little bit. So thank you, Andrea, for bypassing that Temu TV you were going to get. She was going to get that one there, but then she said, damn it, it's Christmas. Let me remember Jason over here. So I appreciate it, sister. It could have been rough on you for a minute. Don't worry. Temu will be there when you get back, baby. It'll be there when you get back. Also, let me send a shout out here to Mr. Richburg. Mr. Richburg, thank you very much for your support here. Mr. SF Black, Stacy Shepard, D, Go. And to everyone else who's contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. We appreciate that as well. Brothers and sisters from around the world, the reason why DL is apoplectic, and I warned y'all it would be, they're gonna be throwing shots at us forever. I want y'all to understand, after this election, a whole bunch of people watch their careers take major hits. Some of them watch their careers get cut short, and they blame us. And I want to repeat to you all again that I relish it. I absolutely adore it. They've been given a message that they will not be able to ignore, not this time. So a whole bunch of folks watch the little gravy train get derailed. and they're mad at us for it. But please understand, I know a lot of you have been out here, you've been walking in the wilderness, you've been trudging through the snow, you've been wading through the water and the floods, you've been out here with me now, going on 2 decades. I know you watched everything happen from Barack Obama to now, and some days you were wondering if were we making any progress, were we getting any results, and all I can say is take a look at what you've seen in just the last 5 years. Take a look at what you're witnessing now. Take a look at how the vocabulary has changed. Take a look at how your favorite celebrities and some of your not favorite celebrities, shout out Fat Joe, are calling us out by name. That's not something you can do in 1 year. You can't do that in one, not when you have this mammoth, megalith, multinational, multi-trillion-dollar media machine out there. You can't do that and make changes in a year. You're going to have to be willing to outlast, outwork, outperform, show up every day, show up on holidays. I know you want to take time off. I know you want to go trick off. I know that Andrea was wanting to go to Chippendales and go throw some of this money down on black chocolate. I understand she fought the urge, and I appreciate it. I know there's a bunch of y'all. You could have hung out with the family. Some of y'all don't fool with your family like that, but I get it. But some of y'all could have did other things. I understand that. Do you understand the level of dedication and discipline you have to sit up here and say on a holiday, we doing the same damn thing? They can't beat us because they can't out-discipline us. Do you understand? Almost 5,000 people in here on Christmas. This level of discipline? D.L. Hugley refuses to take so much as he ain't gonna give you one holiday in a decade. You all show up with me every single one. That's not a matter of who gonna win. That's just a matter of when we gonna beat you, dude. Think about this for a few moments. For the last 10 years, we've been training for the fight every damn weekend, every holiday. Think about this in boxing terms. We're the fighters who are in the gym every week, every day. Holidays, we take no time off. We just sitting up here throwing them lefts, throwing them rights. That's all we doing is hitting the bag, doing the sit-ups, doing the training, doing the cardio. That's all we do. We eat this, drink this, sleep this, think this, breathe this, feel this, live this, love this. It is everything we are. On weekends, D.L. Hugley's at the turn up. He's getting smoked out. He's at the strip club. He's like, man, y'all niggas need to learn how to take it easy. On holidays, he's like, nigga, you crazy if you think I'm showing up with y'all on a damn holiday. I am incommunicado. Now, if you were sitting there cataloging that and being like, okay, the B1 fighter over here, man, these folks don't take a day off. Well, surely they take holidays off. Man, they make it a point. Holidays are the days that they do overtime. They brag that they show up on holidays. Man, you joking. Ain't nobody gonna show up on a holiday. Nigga, it's Christmas. Show up tonight. He's like, I can't believe this. And they wasn't here for just 20 or 30 minutes. They're there for hours. Well, don't worry. Our guy is equally committed to winning. Can you find DL? Man, I've been calling his ass all day. He is going straight to voicemail. Now, if you heard those reports from two fighters, the B1 fighter is here all day, every day for a decade, no holidays. D.L. Hugley ain't even showing up on the days he's supposed to be there. You know full well, you like, we're in trouble. There's no way you're going to vote for him. You're like, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Our fighter is not training. What you always say, he's not taking this. Even if you thought he was taking it seriously, you know he's not taking it as seriously as these other people do. That's the difference. Even if you could believe that DL is taking this seriously, which he's not, You can't argue that he doesn't take this as seriously as we do. DL thinks we are fanatics, and he's right. And he's right. Fat Joe was sitting there whining and complaining about it. They radicals. That's not the word, sir, although fanatical would probably qualify. And what Fat Joe is saying is, damn, I ain't got it in me. Fat Joe is looking to take time off, get the turn up, see if he can go grab a bag somewhere. But as far as this part of the game, he's like, man, I ain't got it in me to do like y'all doing. I'm not taking off weekends and holidays and turning this into his religion. I'm not doing that. Then, dude, you can't beat us. Then just understand, you just conceded. You cannot beat us. You can't outwork us. You can't outfight us. You can't outrelent us. All you can do is keep showing up until eventually we knock you out. And we did. And we did. Fat Joe done got his call. He done got his call from the Democrats that, you didn't deliver neither. So Fat Joe, DL Hugley, a bunch of them are upset. They were looking forward to future bags. Kamala Harris getting the White House. They were all looking forward to cashing in on them promises. And it ain't happened that way. But please don't get it twisted why it occurred. It didn't occur because of me. It occurred because of all of you. Thousands and thousands of you in here right now. There are thousands and thousands of people listening. And all of you said this is where you would rather be. So you do understand the DL is losing again, right? What? You did understand that, right? DL is supposed to be hosting tonight. DL should be doing his show tonight. DL should be commenting about this tonight. DL should be on New Year's and the weekends. DL should be stomping the streets about this now. After how badly and totally he got annihilated at the polls, DL should be trying to outwork us now. He damn sure gets paid well enough to do it. Oh, y'all, DL gets paid a bag I ain't never seen. He should be, 24/7, and yet he's not. DL done took the day off like he always does. And that's the reason that you lost, DL, and your girl lost. Because at the end of the day, you don't even know why you're here. You're just there because some folk called you. You don't have any core. You don't have any principles. You're not even a mercenary. You're a panhandler. And you don't have any principles. And now that you need them, you ain't got them. And you can't get them. And that puts you in a horrendous situation. You supposed to be spending tonight shoring up your base and getting everybody on code and getting everybody back straight with you, but you're not. You sitting back loafing and lounging and lunching like you always did. And now another year is falling off. And if this is how badly you lost to us after 10 years of you sitting back and folding your hands and nodding off and playing hooky, if this is how badly you lost this time around, what does the future hold? By the time you 65, right around the corner, what does the future hold? By the time you get there. Because let me tell you, my numbers have only gone up. The number of people who are here tonight is very substantial. You think that number is going to go down over the next 5 years? Oh, yeah, and we going to be here. One more thing, and we're going to be here. Don't know about you, but we'll be here. Hell of a spot for you to be in. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all of you, not just Andrea. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all of you, everybody who's here tonight. If it was just me, I would be just one fanatical believer out here in the ether doing what I do. Neo she up in the wee hours of the morning, which actually is, I think it's the better part of the morning where she is. Ordinarily be the wee hours of the morning, so she's getting out the door to go to work, but she's over there in South Africa. Shout out Neo. You're the true believers. These other folk get bought off, they get paid off, they don't really believe these things. You all are the true believers. Don't you understand you can't be beat? You all are doing this. Nobody's paying you. Nobody's paying you off. Nobody's bribing you. Nobody's slipping you nothing. You're here because this is what you truly believe. They were waiting for you all to fall off. Do you understand that? They thought you all were going to fall off a decade ago. They thought that after Trayvon Martin, you all would just be like, you would vent, and then you would go back to doing something else. You're going to go watch and twerk, and oh, here comes TikTok. You were going to veer your lives off into something else, and you didn't do that. They have tried every trick in the book. They've tried shadow banning. They've tried public shaming. They've tried sending the CIA and the FBI, Homeland Security. They've done everything. And you're still right here. So I want to take a moment here to salute all of you. Shout out to Kim up there in Canada. I want to send a moment to send a salute to all of you. Shout out to Victor. He don't like that when I say that, but shout out to Victor. Shout out to Victor and Vinny. I know they don't like it when I say that. I get it. Y'all don't like it when I say your names, but shout out to Victor and Vinny. I got to give you your props tonight. Victor and Vinny. They're going, Jason, don't say my names. I got to give it to you one time. I want to send a shout out to all of you here because this is not easy. Doing stuff, you're not getting paid for it. You don't get a pat on the back for it. I've told you all going on 2 decades. This is a thankless job. You are unsung soldiers. I ain't never tried to get famous. I never tried to get a TV show. I never tried to get a radio show. I got politicians, millionaires, and billionaires at my neck. Department of Homeland Security, you know, is already on it. I got places I can't even go. I'm not doing this because I'm getting rich and famous. It damn sure ain't that. Selling your people out gets you paid. You can't be Candace Owens standing up for black folk. You only become Candace Owens and Officer Tatum and them 2 twins and whoever. You only get to do that when you sell black people out. Ain't nobody got a bag for you standing up for black folk. Roland Martin and Al Sharpton got their bags undermining us, people. There is no bag. Van Jones got 100 million of them things. Damn. Do you understand that? Van Jones, they backed up the Brinks truck for him. He walked off with 100 million of them things. People, ain't no bag to be had standing up for black folks' interests. Ain't nobody paying it. Ain't nobody giving it. It's not there, man. It's not there. And it's not coming. You're never gonna get bought off and paid off to help elevate black folk and organize black folk to have a regular conversation. People, we did the most powerful thing we possibly could do. We got together and started comparing notes. That's all we did. We got together and started comparing notes with each other. That's all. A national conversation that wasn't led by Tom Joyner or Al Sharpton. We started comparing notes amongst ourselves, and we all started seeing, by the way, there's another dimension of this. And the fact that this means so much to all of you. I mean, if it meant something to me, I'm just one man. The fact it means something to thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of you, that's the game changer. That's the difference maker. And that's the game changer. All of you. You are what makes the difference. All of you listening to me tonight. And I know it's not easy. As we end 2024, as I always remind you all, everybody who walked into 2023 with us did not walk into 2024 with us. And everybody who walked into 2024 with us will not be walking into 2025 with us. Many of you, you are at odds with your family, with your so-called friends, some of you with your spouses. What? You got folk don't like you at the church. You got folk don't like you at the school, folk at the job. I understand. Walking this road comes at a cost. You're going to sacrifice things. You're going to sacrifice things. And yet you've still done it. I'm proud of you and I'm proud of your resolve. Forget me. I'm just one guy. I'm proud of you and I'm proud of your resolve. I'm proud of your discipline and your dedication. I'm proud that when people come to this space on YouTube tonight, they see thousands and thousands of people. We ain't talking about twerking. We ain't talking about the turn up. We are talking about the elevation of our people and what it is that really matters and staying focused on what reality is, not what some paid celebrities or politicians try to mislead us into thinking. This is a conversation they don't get anywhere else. I'm proud of you all for staying this focused. Many of you brought others with you. You came and you brought others with you. So you listen to folk talk crap and everything. You listen to them for a decade, talk about that pro-black stuff. They used to ridicule that. We kept marching until nobody's ridiculing it anymore. They used to sit up here and mock you and make fun of you, quote, for that pro-black stuff. Nobody's making fun of it anymore. Folk used to talk trash to you about being foundational. Ain't that right over there, Fat Joe? They're not laughing anymore. They're not making the wise cracks and doing the wise ass comments anymore. That didn't just happen this year. That has been a result of you all's dedication and commitment for over a decade. That's how we got here. That's how we ended up here. So just recognize on this so-called holiday that we do not take holidays, not because it is not because we disrespect holidays. Let me be very, very clear about that. For some of you, I know you got disdain for it. Please understand, that's not where I'm coming at it from. Your holidays are great. Your holidays are fine. Your holidays are wonderful. What I need you to know is that I'm on the battlefield. I'm at war. I'm in a war zone. And I will not pretend that I am not in one. And I got to tell y'all, I can't sleep. I could, if I were trying to observe a holiday today, I couldn't sleep. I would not be able to sit there in bed, kick it with the kinfolk, run around with my nieces and nephews. I couldn't do that. Have a day off? I mean, a day off in occupation? We are an occupied people. We're behind enemy lines. How am I supposed to take it easy and take a day? How am I supposed to do that? And I know that I speak for all of you when you say, hey, how am I supposed to take it easy today? I'm behind enemy lines. I'm in the war zone. I'm on the battlefield. How the hell am I supposed to take a holiday? Who the hell heard of a holiday in the middle of a war zone? And the only thing I'm doing is that you all certify to the rest of the world that I'm not alone. D.L. Hugley does not understand this because he does not wish to understand it. D.L. Hugley sold his soul a long damn time ago. He looks at a bunch of people in here, thousands of people whose souls are not for sale. Not to a celebrity, not to a politician, not to a holiday, not to anything. They never thought you'd see numbers like this, not in black society, and yet here it is. Whole new ball game. Whole new ball game. So I want to take a moment here to acknowledge to all of you and with all of you, I'm right here with you. I have not asked you to do anything that I myself would not do. I haven't asked you to give up your damn holidays. I haven't asked you to do that. I could be kicking it with the girlfriends right now. I'm not doing it. Take some extra time off. Hell no. Gonna be right here. Kick it with the family. My family will be there tomorrow. I got to be here tonight to show you all how much this means to me. That the rest of the country shut down. And I'm like, by the way, I'm here. And no one would blame me if I took today off, by the way. No one would blame me for not broadcasting on a holiday. No one would blame me for that. And yet here I am. And no one would blame me for it except me. I would blame me. I wouldn't be all right with that. I'd have a problem with that. And what enheartens me is that so many of the rest of you feel the same way. So many of the rest of you feel the same way. You too would not be able to sleep if you took this day off. You know that you're in a war zone and you couldn't rest. You can't take the day off because you can't rest. Your mind and your soul are not at ease. That's the difference. That's always been the difference. And that will continue to be. I am proud to be with all of you tonight. I am proud to have served alongside you and to continue to do so. I am proud that we are not here to holiday. We are here to work. I am proud of you all for staying focused, for being willing to sacrifice so-called friends and family relations, being willing to do that. Please understand, when you are up against an opponent who is willing to give up everything, you can't beat him. You cannot beat him. When you're up against somebody who is willing to lose more than you are, you ain't willing to lose a day off and he's willing to never take one off, you can't beat him. It's just going to be a matter of time before he gets the better of you. Jason, how is it you can stay focused and you can stay optimistic about that? Because I can do math. Take a look at the progress we've made. And there's more to come. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to tonight's program here. John Galladay gave out some memberships. Cameron Fairchild gave out some memberships. Everybody else here, the gift that keeps on giving. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend, holidays, other days in between. So you know us. White supremacy does not take a holiday or a day off, and neither do we. If you're new here, you came here because of Joe, Fat Joe, or anybody else, click that red subscribe button. It's time for you to go ahead and join us. Click that red subscribe button. And if you have been subscribed to us in the past, everyone, it is imperative that you check again to make sure that you are subscribed. YouTube routinely goes back and unsubscribes people. You need to check and make sure that you are still subscribed. Do not take it for granted that you still are. You need to check that. Don't forget to go to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, blackchannelfilms.com. More is coming here. Don't be surprised if I surprise you. Do not be surprised if I surprise you. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight throughout the years, not just tonight. I want to take this as a moment to acknowledge what you've done for years, not just tonight. We are all in this together because we're all we got. I'd like to thank you for watching, live or recorded, but big props to those of you who are here live. Everybody else who's sitting around the table and gonna sneak back in later. I give more props to those of you who are here live. You are the elite. You are the special forces. I want to thank all of you who contributed to tonight's program. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, eat this, drink this, sleep this, think this, breathe this, feel this, live this, love this. It is everything that we are. Black first.